allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning. Today is a meeting, Commissioners meeting of March 16th, 8 a.m. We will start this morning with Craig and maintenance.
Morning. I'll start out. Last week I emailed you guys. We had a power flicker. Took out one of the brains of the boilers and a sensor. Brains of the boiler, main control box, I should say, not to exceed 2,300. You all guys approved it online, over email, sorry. And I went ahead and approved the sensor. It was under $500 for the cost and the replacement of that. Just want to keep everything in there.
So do we not have any type of surge protection to keep that from happening?
Low voltage, Wade Travis explained to me, it takes like 26 volts. If it spikes up to 27, 28, there's a chance it'll take it out. It's mainly for over voltage coming into the building for the higher voltage. Each panel has its own surge protection.
Yeah, I would just thought there would have been some type of safeguard for that. But, all right, sounds like you already checked into it. Thank you.
Yep. I've got Kramer's proposal quote for the removal of the bell on the tower. That price is $5,150. And if the scaffolding is down, the cost of that would be $11,400. And then they also have a price on here for the painting of the clock face. That is $8,875. They're going to be using acrylic paint and primer.
Is there anything on there about like scratching the old paint off?
Yeah, they
Okay.
properly prepare, if I can talk, properly prepare the existing clock by removing flaking loose old paint by means of scraping, sanding, mechanically abrading.
Okay. $8,875?
Yeah. No, they got another price from, say his name right, Clay Cochran. He will be scraping and sanding all loose paint off, get down to the metal and removing all cracked and loose caulking around all the plexiglass. Also putting new caulking around it and plexiglass panels. He's using epoxy paint on it, so everything has to be down, prepped right to use that. And the cost for the first price with the scaffolding up is $8,000. If the scaffolding is down and he has to rent, he will be added an additional $7,500 for a total of $15,500.
So it's how much with scaffolding?
Yes.
How much was it? Can you give me that number again?
$8,000 if the scaffolding is there, and then if the scaffolding is down, the total would be $15,500.
And I don't think, I don't know if they'd let him use that scaffolding if the scaffolding's up.
That's my only concern for the
I
extra.
done checked with Eric. He says as long as they provide their insurance, they're more than welcome to use the scaffolding as long as it's up and they're doing their work. But if their job is done, most likely he'll be removing the scaffolding.
Right.
So I guess it's an $875 gamble.
No, it could be more than that.
Well, yeah, if the scaffolding's gone, it's gonna turn
Yeah.
into another
The
$7,000.
epoxy, it has to be warm.
It has to be above 55 degrees.
Yeah.
That'd be 55 degrees. What's the difference
But-
between,
Sorry, I moved my sticky note. Bad thing with Clay, he's 5 to 6 weeks out before he can get to it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to make that clear. Sorry, I'm.
well, I appreciate that.
Did any one of them give you a time frame on how long it would take to do it?
Kramer's
Not
probably
really.
subbing it out.
They don't really know how hard it would be to get down with Clay, getting it down to the metal, to get everything prepped right. The epoxy will hold better and seal everything up, the way he described it to me. So it's just how fast they can get it cleaned up and painted. Because he said you're only looking at 3 to 4 gallons to paint everything up there.
That was the
Clay.
epoxy was with clay. So
Yes.
what kind of paint is, so
Acrylic paint and primer.
they're using primer, yeah. I think either one of them would be okay.
I think anything, sorry.
Can I ask a question? So does Kramer have a price if the scaffolding's not there? Or they'll leave it up if they do it?
Yeah, as long, they'll probably bring another guy or two out while they're doing everything else and do the face at the same
I thought,
time.
didn't Kramer have a price there without scaffolding?
No, that was for the bell removal.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that
I'm
was
sorry,
with the
I mixed up,
cover.
yeah, I got
just
you.
wanted to make sure
Yeah.
there was a,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you, sorry, I didn't mean.
No,
to
you're
interrupt.
fine. I figured that question would come up.
I
So,
think
with-
it'd be nice to just keep the scope of work to one group of people. And if we have any issues, we just have one person we have to get hold of.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we're guaranteed, I'm sure if they're contracting it, they're not gonna take the scaffolding down.
Exactly.
And if they are at the $8,000 price, it would be their problem. The $8,075. So,
Now, can I ask one more
Yes.
question? What are we doing with this bell once it gets out there?
Just gonna be, put on display in the hallway,
At the courthouse?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
or somewhere.
well, let's get the paint. Let's do the
I just
paint.
didn't know, like, what we doing with this bell?
Yeah.
That's the next question.
Because because that'll be also determined, also need to know that today too, because once they bring the crane in, I was told, get decent weather, they'll be setting the louvers also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the only downside on that part too.
Otherwise, if we don't give them an answer right away, it could cost us $11,400 to get it out.
Yeah. So we're talking, so on the paint, I'll make a motion, we'll pay Kramer, we'll get Kramer to do it.
Okay. Do we have
Are
a
you gonna-
second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Real quick, let me tell Amy where to pay for it out of.
Are we going to vote the bell separate?
We can talk about the bell here, we'll
Okay,
talk about the
gotcha.
bell here in a second. I just want to make sure we get, I think there's $100,000 in cume cap. Amy, does that make sense to pay for it out of there?
Is that building maintenance?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so that's good. All right, the bell. So the bell, we're at, it's 5,000 to take it out?
$5,150. That's scaffolding there.
I think that needs to come out just to get some weight. I mean, there could be an issue, there's a lot of weight that we're not doing anything with up in there, just to relieve some of the weight out of the top of that bell tower. And I think that's something we need to do.
And so it's now or never.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I know on the quote, I laid a copy up there for you guys. It says the frame will be cut into 2 or 3 pieces, just to let you know, that frame actually does come apart, so it won't be cut or anything like that. It will disassemble.
It is bolted up there. I've
Yes.
seen that myself. I'll make the motion to remove it for $5,150.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Out of the same fund?
We just do it out of the same fund, Amy.
Okay, but he said for the 5150, or, yeah, 5150, right?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
if they remove this scaffolding? Like, are you?
They're going to coordinate it with the lift if they can get
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
With the crane, I mean.
Yeah.
because it's anywhere between 200 to 500 pounds moreover.
So, I mean, I'm just under the impression that they're just saying if we wait and do it later, they're gonna charge, that's what it will be.
If the
So-
scaffolding comes
Yeah.
down, they're gonna have to bring a piece of equipment in, so they're adjusting for that at the
Right, so
scaffolding.
they will get it out when the scaffolding's up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
if both projects can get done with the scaffolding up at the price that was given,
Yep.
And that should finish everything on that project. There shouldn't be anything else come up unless something small.
no, and I mean, all the damage, all the, I already saw, like, they've got some of the exterior bottom done. So it looks like, I think we're past that part to where we're rotten stuff. There really shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be no more rotten wood.
Do you think they'll find something once they pull the top off or not?
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't? Okay. Okay. Yeah, be good to get it all done. So. Okay, anything else?
Anything else?
Today, the Verdin, they're supposed to be completing the equipment for the bells and clocks, so once I hear from them, I can start coordinating with Frontline and seeing when everything's gonna arrive here, so when they get started on that.
Look at it.
Okay.
Verdin, they're supposed to have all the equipment completed and put together on today, and then they're supposed to be reaching out to me to schedule delivery and when they can start. The clock, the bells and the clock.
Okay.
Where we at on the heaters for the
That's what I
entry?
was getting ready.
Okay,
Mark reached
I
out to
apologize.
me last week. They're getting everything together to get those ordered in. Heaters can be here quick, but the wind curtain is 4 weeks out. So once I get the details of when that's going to be delivered and started, I will inform everybody.
So once that project gets complete, then we won't know whether it's going to work until next winter.
Just like with the ACs on the third floor, we won't know if those are gonna leak until it gets hot outside, like the issue we had last summer.
Okay?
And is our warranty still up in May, or has it been extended for that building?
I thought they were supposed to kind of come in and talk to us about it, wasn't it?
That was my impression the last time we spoke, that there was some concern, or they were going to come in and talk to us about extending that, or if we had to buy an extension.
Because I asked for a service agreement from Verigy's service side on January 15th, and I have yet to receive it. And I've been in contact with Art about that.
Okay.
So you're gonna make a phone call?
Guess I'll call Rick.
That's who I was referring to.
Yeah. So we need a service agreement yet and warranty. All right. Those are the two questions, right?
Yep.
Service agreement and warranty information and deadline when the warranties.
Oh, warranty's up May 5th.
Except for, there was something on the condensation that got extended.
Installation is pushed out till August, if I remember right.
But we're concerned about potentially something leaking.
Yes, because we don't know when it got hot without the humidity sensors, all the units on the third floor were sweating. I know Dunlap and them, they replaced a lot of ceiling tiles throughout. That's why they sent us 12 more bundles of ceiling tiles for over there for our attic stock.
They
And
gave us, I thought they extended the warranty on heat and air until later in the fall when they got it all lined out.
I thought we asked them to, and then they kind of threw, like, it got bobbled because they said they were going to see what an additional cost was going to be associated with it, or whether they were going to do it for free. So, and then I think that's where we kind of got ghosted at this point.
all I know that's been extended is the installation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So I will call Rick and have an update on that before our next meeting.
That's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
So you say you got a hold of Art and he's not got back with you, or you was, is that who didn't get back with you, Art or the other?
No, Art keeps going, and he goes, all I can do is request the information.
Okay,
So,
all right.
I mean, Verity Services just, to me, it acts like they don't want to mess with the building, but that's just my opinion.
Right, okay.
Okay. If you don't hear anything from me by like Wednesday of next week, call me. I have a busy week. I'm traveling later this week, so, but hold me accountable to make that phone call. Or
I
if you
mean, do we
guys
have,
think
I
about
mean,
it.
do you have Rick's email?
I have his phone number.
I mean, I didn't know if you had his email, maybe we should do an email with everybody on it.
I probably do.
That way we have a record of what we're talking about
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay. I'll try to get to
I
that.
have his email.
Okay. I'm sure I do somewhere.
Oh, sorry, one more thing real quick, sorry, I forgot she handed it to me. Patterson's Nursery, they sent a contract for lawn care application. 4 treatments a year at $155 each treatment for the courthouse, and then for the annex, 4 treatments throughout the year at $165 each treatment.
Is that spray and reseed at all, or
That's,
just,
for pre-emergent crab gas control and fertilization, dry application, and a liquid application. One in April, June, August, and October. So they're not reseeding or anything like that. It does include seeding, so just wheat.
have they had our contract prior to them sending that to us?
They had it back, and then I think we did away with all the work that was coming. We knew the yard was gonna be torn up and stuff, but we did have Patterson's in the past.
I know, I thought, the plan was to, after everything is done over there, we're still gonna work on the yard, so I would say we don't need that right now.
Hold off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when we do decide to do that, we will look at whoever does the rework whoever does the landscaping, and we probably ought to get other people to quote it.
Other bids.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll hold off on that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if we were to accept it, we would tell him we would accept it by not paying but I'll call him before we,
So did you have any conversation with him on the trees? We got a late bill on the trees because we was waiting on the grant. Did you talk to him at all on the trees project?
Yeah, we discussed what type of trees were coming in on the payment side. I don't receive any of the bills.
I mean, I didn't know if you had any conversation about waiting until the grant.
No, I didn't,
Okay,
no.
Just wanted to make sure, okay.
no.
No, 'cause
I know
wasn't sure how
it
was getting
doesn't
paid.
stand up. I know when I was out there talking with him that day, when he was planning them, that I mentioned that, so. But anyways, I'll call him, see if he'll,
Yeah. 'Cause the last I knew, I thought the county was paying, and,
So I just gotta hold this for right now.
All right, thank you, Craig.
yep, thank you.
Thanks, Craig.
Sheriff's Department?
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today?
Good.
Morning.
Don't have much for you guys today. The office space for One Voice, they are going to be doing our homebound recovery for the inmates. That is operational. They're moving their stuff in currently. Other than that, we're just waiting on some parts and supplies to come in to continue doing the renovations over there. That's about all I got for you guys.
All right.
Any other questions?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheriff, you got anything for us?
I don't have anything for you, just, see if you got anything for me. No.
Nope.
I would say the painting in the jail's come along really great. That one inmate we have, he's painted from the front all the way to the control rooms. It's looking really good.
You got an inmate doing it?
Yeah.
That's a new roof. You've had some good rains to test it out.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's not leaking, so that's
Good
good.
deal.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
Also, enterprise lease is not coming in today.
Oh,
They're
they are
not.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that. Jason? EMS?
They will be at the council meeting tonight, though, if any commissioners are coming to that.
Okay. I'll be there.
So all I have is, you're
What
just
hat do you have on?
EMS. Swap them out. All I have is the information you have by email for the purchase of the vehicle and trade-in of the old.
Yep.
So I guess on that email was the new quote for the 2026, right?
Yeah, so
You
if
guys
they,
were-
when you put all the numbers together to what, the 26 is $2,725 more, and we have to wait all that time.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just that decision, it's the decision on we want the 25 or the 26.
Will they give us the trade-in on the 25 for that 70?
I took it like they're getting 7,500 trade
$7,500. Yeah,
75.
regardless of which one we get.
correct.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. We didn't, did we have the trade-in the first time?
No.
No, but we asked her to get the trade.
No, when she appeared last meeting, there was no.
Right,
no
but is
figure
that
for the
mine?
trade-in.
So it's actually more than $2,700 if you add the 75 to it.
No,
Is
well,
that the way-
so
is
I
that
mean,
the way it
it's 83,304.50 for the 26, it's 80,579.50 for the 25, which is a difference of $2,725. So
Right.
whichever one we get will be minus $7,500 trade-in.
I didn't think she had the trade-in on the first price, though, is what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, but they said they would give us $7,500 trade-in, so we can take that off of the $80,000,
Take
or
that
we'll
off
take
of
it off of the
either one.
$83,000.
Okay, is it the
So the
7,500 coming off the 80,000 then?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I was
Okay.
trying to
So the
clarify.
hard, the hard numbers without a trade-in were 83 for the 23 and then 80-something for the
Yeah.
20.
Okay,
For
gotcha.
the 25, and then you minus the 75.
So the 7,500 will be coming off the 83
I
as
think-
well?
yeah.
If we would do that,
I
okay.
think we should trade that one in and get rid of it.
Oh, yeah. I
You
do.
know,
I do.
Please.
Yeah, that's been
And it sounds like with there actually we
Problem
could be
being-
saving a little bit more money by getting the 25, because it could be broke down in the next 16 weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah, I think we
There's a
probably should.
high,
unless-
high probability.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think we should go with the 25 unless we was gonna wait on the leasing people to talk to them about it. But if we're not gonna
Yeah.
do that, then.
Alex
go with the 25.
seemed like not to do it. Didn't really make sense in her opinion because those vehicles tend to be in the rotation very well. So, I mean, this is the first one we bought in 5 years, so,
And she has it in her budget.
yeah.
It's in our budget. All right,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to get the 2025 at $80,579.50 minus the $7,500 trade-in.
I will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Can you get your hat out for the corner?
I can, and I can't answer your question. You have to ask the coroner. I don't know the status on that. I know you're gonna ask
So how
about
do
the
we get the
vehicle.
coroner to reply to us? I've sent the email, he's not replied.
I
I sent 2 emails, he's not
I
replied.
asked if he'd replied, and he said that, did I reply to the last one? Because I had a conversation with him, and I think I replied back to you. and
Yeah,
said
you replied,
that-
but he's never
That he was
replied.
taking care of it. I don't know. I'll call him, and
So,
you can call him.
I think
you
if
can
we
call
don't
him,
get
and-
some answers, what we're gonna do before long, we're gonna put that Dodge out there up for sale. It's been sitting out there 6 months waiting on this, and I don't think that's an acceptable situation. I mean, you guys, I shouldn't say you guys, the coroner's office wanted that vehicle, and we was gracious enough to give it to you guys to use, and it's been sitting out there unused and doing nothing with, and I think we should be getting the ball rolling and at least get answers on when we're gonna put put that in service so we can get rid of the other one. Thank you.
So
And
I
I will dovetail off of this to where I spoke with Lee the other day, and you know how we talked about the sheriff's, the coroner potentially going down in the sheriff's department? I guess at the end of the day, he wasn't, this is from the sheriff's department, not from the coroner, that he wasn't really keen on really having to make that move, didn't really matter, he was fine where he's at, But in return, he mentioned in the sheriff's department that that new truck needs to be plugged in all the time because it has something in it.
It will when it's done.
And the sheriff's department's gonna have a spot over there at the sheriff's department with a plug. So just as an update on that,
That's a gas engine, ain't it?
Can somebody give me the total of what the 2025 quote was for? Sorry,
$80,579.50.
thank you.
That's just to keep it plugged in.
Minus the 7,500.
I'm not sure why it needs plugged in, but it needs plugged in.
It's,
Maybe it's a trickle charge.
it
on the
is.
Battery.
It also has, different electronics. in
Yeah,
it.
that's what, we kind of talked about that.
The stretcher powered and all that
Place to
stuff.
keep it plugged in,
Yeah, so that's all taken care of. But anyways, I
Okay.
get an update on it. Let's get that truck rolling.
So I'll ask him, when I leave here, I'll ask him to update you, and I will update you.
All right.
So
thank you, Jason.
at least you get it from me, or maybe twice.
Okay.
It's getting flat spots on the tires.
It hasn't been moved for 3 weeks. I have moved it a couple times.
Oh, did you?
but I put it
Okay.
right back where it comes from, so.
Speaking of class one trailers driving, yeah, the OBS 4, the dark blue one, four-wheel drive, right rear passenger tires are pretty low. On the parking lot, if anybody in here has a dark royal blue Ford, sorry.
Oh, I don't know.
Public service announcement.
There you go.
All right, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Do
Jason.
do we have any we have some time in our schedule. Do we have any public comment? Would you like to say something?
I'm just here about the railroad bridge.
Yeah, will you come up here if you don't mind? Appreciate it.
I'm Larry Miller.
Okay.
I live on 25 East out by where they closed the railroad bridge, and I'm just wondering if they're going to try to rebuild it or what's going to happen with that.
So I think the current status is we're kind of in a spit spat on figuring out who actually owns it. Okay? Do you have any history on that you could help us out
From the
with?
past, I think it's the railroad, or not, I'm sorry, the county owns it.
Okay.
You guys probably all remember Bob Deberger, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
When he was it's when he was foreman, I think. I really don't remember. It was in 2003 or 4 that they resurfaced, put the wood, just the wood part on that bridge. And Bob told me that the railroad said they didn't own it, they didn't care if it was there or not.
What
So
what year was that, Larry?
it's either 2003 or 4. It could have been 05, but one of the three, I'm not sure. At the time, I worked at Halcom's, and I did deliver some material out there to them, the guys that was working on it.
I've been researching it. I've been back in the 1800s looking,
Yeah.
but we haven't found anything.
But that's when they resurfaced it. And I was thinking about, when they built it, that was probably built about the same time that the High Bridge was over Lothry Creek. But I don't know what year that would have been. I'm thinking 28 or 29, but I really
Well, they
don't know.
said 29, and I mean, I went through I went through 29 and 30, and I think the recorder's office, because I was out, they went through 28, 27, I mean, they went way back in the 1800s. And we can't find anything on it.
I was thinking the right-of-way was purchased in 99 or something, 1899 or something, or in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I guess with that being said, is your concern of us of getting it back open? Or
Well,
what's your opinion on
Yeah,
that?
well, I'm both ways. I like it closed because there's not much traffic on the road.
Yes.
But at times, it's kind of nice to go get out that way, especially if the roads are, snowy and we got slick roads and stuff. Going down over that hill on the 350 is not too good, especially in bad weather. And sometimes coming up, depending on what you're doing, it's better to come in, safer to come in from off of Fairgrounds to 25 East and come across. But there's a lot of traffic on that road. People, I don't really know where they're going, if they all live on it or they just drive it. But until the bridge was closed, there's quite a bit of traffic on the road.
Okay. Well, I guess the answer from our perspective is we're still working on it. We don't know whether it's going to be, we're just trying to figure out whose responsibility or who actually owns it. Once we get to that point, then I think there'll be a definitive decision based off of, we can let you know. I'm sure that if it doesn't get reopened, it's going to be a problem.
That'd just be something we have to live with. But another thing that, and maybe it's not feasible to do that, is to just dig the dirt out and make a crossing across the tracks, drive across it. But, I mean, I don't know about that either, but.
So we kind of.
That's an idea.
We had talked about that to see what our options are, and I think if we find out that the bridge is a no-go, that we can't do anything with the bridge, we had talked about the embankment, trying to figure out a way just to make the
know
drive over railroad.
Water line would have to be moved, and the phone line, I'm sure, have to be moved. Because the phone lines actually comes across, it's on the bridge. But it's in a steel conduit.
So I guess at this point, it's to be determined. We're still working on it. I'm trying to figure out, once we can solidify who's responsible, it'd be nice to have the railroad fix it, and just solve that problem. But it sounds to me like if the railroad has to fix it, they're going to take it down. Kind of the opinion that I got out of it. I don't know how true that is, but just,
Yeah. And like I say, I guess it's a big deal in one way or the other, but going over the hill onto 350, especially in the wintertime, if they haven't plowed the road or put cinders on that hill, it's a little bit dangerous.
yeah, I
I
can
know,
see that.
which I've lived out there, well, basically all my life. I lived there since I was 5 years old and got married and moved and come back. I moved there in 1985, so I've been there since then. And a few times it's been slick. I've kind of slid, but haven't slid out into the highway. But
So-
yeah, that's just basically what I needed to know.
Yeah, keep your ear to the ground on what we're doing. Don't hesitate to come back, and
All
if you
right.
don't hear anything, or if you have any questions, give one of us a call.
Okay,
We'd be happy to help you.
thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thank you, Larry.
Have
Do
a good
you
day.
recall the price that Jason was coming up with if we did do it?
I don't
I
recall.
thought it was $700,000, $800,000 to do it, but,
Yeah,
Quite a bit of money.
yeah,
it is,
yeah.
it is.
Well, thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay,
Have a good
thanks.
day.
But don't quote that figure.
Peggy, do you have anything for us today?
Yeah.
No, sir, but I'm hoping to ask the council president, maybe we can have a public meeting, a special meeting between the commissioners and council. It need to be advertised 2 weeks, so but I'll ask him if he'd like to do that this evening.
Okay.
Okay.
So hopefully he
About
will.
what? Can I be nosy now?
Pardon?
About,
It would be just in general, the county finances and how we need to proceed and options we may have, and that we have the public meeting and that everybody's on the same page and it's a team effort,
Yeah,
That sounds great.
yeah.
just to keep
And
communication.
and if you want to like schedule it, maybe, like, I mean, I'm fine with an evening as long as we know in advance. We could do it like maybe even before one of your next, not the next council meeting, but the next one, we can do like schedule an hour before, so that way, we're saving it, because there's more of you guys more of you folks than us,
Yes.
so.
Well, I'll mention that, and we'll just see if
Okay.
it proceeds, but I just think it's good for us to meet and have discussions that everybody's on the same page and we know
Yeah.
everything that's going on.
Perfect.
What kind of information are you going to be looking for?
Well, we'll look at, if you think there's any upcoming big ticket items,
Okay.
or do you see, the overall lay, is there something that, this is glaring at us and we really need to address it, hasn't been addressed, so,
So you think maybe we would like do it right before the next council meeting,
council
like,
meeting?
half hour before the council meeting?
That's what I was thinking, yeah. They
Yeah.
meet tonight, but the next one would be in April.
Right.
We'll just, do an hour before. I want to answer your question that hopefully nothing, Peggy. There's no big projects. I'm done with big projects. I want to say no.
That's what, well, I didn't want to share, but that was my hope, that there's nothing with
Yes.
that. But let's discuss it.
Yeah,
And we're all
cool.
on the same page.
Yeah, that would be great. And I will say that I spoke with some of the council members. They met with different departments and everything and learned a lot about what goes on, and I heard it was very informational. And I asked a question to them, is there anything from like a benefit standpoint, handbook standpoint, things that are within our jurisdiction, if there's, things that we can help make better? So maybe that's some things we can address at that meeting too. I think that was some of that too, so.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you, Peggy.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Peggy.
All right, Jason's not coming in.
Can a different
Yes.
commission reapproach?
Yes.
So, my apologies. Apparently, we're all not very observant, myself included. The truck's not out here because it's getting the fixings done. It's supposed to be back within about a week.
Okay, awesome.
So I actually called and started to express my concern, and then as I drove by, I said, "Where's the truck at?" He says, "It's getting everything fixed, finalized." So it's not here. It's been gone for 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so it'll be back pretty quick then, and,
He said it's supposed to be back within a week, so this time next week.
all right, sounds good.
Okay?
But we can probably make a move on that, getting rid of that other vehicle next meeting then, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
You could, if you want to make that decision, I mean, you've already pretty much made that decision. If you want us to
Go ahead and put it up.
do
Is it going on?
whatever,
We just need to figure out what we're gonna do with it. I mean.
as soon as it's empty, we can have Becky put it on the auction or whatever you're going to do with it.
Well, we can talk about it next meeting. I'm not trying to rush you out of that other truck. I'm just kind of getting frustrated, not.
Well, yeah, there's
We'll talk about
some
it next meeting.
things
We'll
that
have a
didn't happen.
discussion
Yeah, some
and
things didn't
find out
happen.
when we'll make the decision what we're gonna do with the other vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, I
Thank
understand.
you, Jason. Appreciate it.
So,
Thank you. Before I ask Amy to come up and sign paperwork, do you guys have anything else you want to discuss before that?
Reynolds Foundation.
Yes. I believe we have been told or notified that the Ripley County Park and Recreation had been awarded $40,000,
50.
$50,000 from the Reynolds Foundation to upgrade the electrical systems at the park for the campsites.
That is correct.
So I want to thank the town of Osgood and the Reynolds Foundation for accepting that grant and participating in helping us make our fairgrounds better, safer, and hopefully electric more reliable, so.
And hopefully, it's going to help us grow the park, and that's our outlook as well. So I do thank Reynolds Foundation, everybody's on the boards as well.
And, the idea is, you get those campgrounds updated to where we can do more than just a 4-H fair out there. I know like the Chamber of Commerce has their fireworks show and their program later this summer. I think some of the thought is maybe extending it into a weekend and having other events out there, bands and stuff like that, and allowing people to camp, so.
I do think they're planning on doing a Saturday event as well.
Yeah,
At least the park is, the Saturday.
yeah. So, just as a public service announcement, we really appreciate the Reynolds Foundation.
I'm sure Christie's gonna send them a formal thank you letter and everything.
I haven't talked to her about it yet.
Okay, but yeah, it'd be nice to make sure we get that done, so we have something to open at their meeting and talk about.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
I want to thank
can-
them as well.
I was gonna mention something to you. If I'm not mistaken, I think the food pantry's lease may be up this year in 2026. And there's been some issues in question of, because the metering system there in the water, I think it's all in one meter. Might be a time to consider if you guys want to get a quote, or do you want to separate those, anything like that? Would they be on their own metered system or not? Just
Do you remember when it's over?
not for sure, no.
Can you do us a favor and pull that contract so that way we have it and we know the date, whomever would have it? Because I do agree, I appreciate you bringing that up.
Just as a thought, if there'd be some quotes, if there'd be any money left over, I don't know if the grant would extend that far, but I think anything would make the fairgrounds better, more orderly. Maybe they'd allow for that. Not sure. Probably not, it can only probably go to one thing. But at least if you had an electrician there, and you in the
Yeah.
process of getting quotes while you have somebody on the job, if
But-
you want to consider
Yeah.
that.
I'm pretty sure that the amount that we got was only part of what she needed so far, so.
Just didn't know if once there's people there with the work and that
Yeah.
type of equipment.
Well,
Right, right.
It might save
With-
some mobilization costs.
With that contract coming up, it's probably imperative that we decide, or if we want to leave it up, or maybe mention it to the park board of what they want to see the future of that contract look like.
Well, that was like, well, buy a set of tires for the skid
Right,
loader.
right.
because it runs-
And they don't use that anymore.
Yeah,
But the thing is, the magnitude of the food pantry, I think, it serves so many people that it's grown.
Yeah.
And the usage of the utilities has grown.
Yeah,
So
but we also,
how's the best way to address it?
yeah,
That's all.
so I think we'll pull that contract, we'll review it, maybe talk with the park board, or if you want to
Yeah.
speak with Christie
I'm
about
gonna
it.
see
if
what
they-
the,
Things have,
see what the electric bill is on that building.
things have been pretty quiet over there regarding the fair, or the park board and the food pantry. The challenge comes in that everybody needs to think about. We're paying for the electric of that food pantry, but there are several other food pantries in this county to where we pay nothing to. So there needs to be a, we might at some point just need to say that that responsibility needs to stick with the townships that are incorporated with that, because, like I said, I can pinpoint 3 on my part of the county that don't get any county subsidies.
Right.
To the best of my recollection, they did put money into the overall purchase and construction
Yeah.
of the building. And basically it was presumed that it would be a perpetual lease for their space in there.
Yeah.
As far as operational costs, I don't know that that was ever part of the intent between the parties.
Because they do have a walk-in freezer. So,
Right, and you have to think, at what point is the operational cost beyond the scope of what was contemplated at the origination of that contract?
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so we'll wait and get that contract, because it probably, there's some things that probably need to be adjusted.
right.
All right, anything else before we start signing paperwork?
A restroom break.
That, or I can have Tad come down. That would get out of 11.
I'd have them come down, let's take 5 minutes.
Okay,
I mean, it doesn't matter to me, it's up to you guys. I'll
No,
do
it's-
whatever, but I'm just trying to.
we have,
I mean, is there a way we can get Kyla in here? I mean, get Tad in here, then we'll be waiting on Kyla. I mean, it'd be nice if we could get both of them in here if we can.
Can try.
yeah. Okay,
First come, first served, who
Yep,
shows up first.
yep.
go ahead, go ahead and take
That's what I'm
it.
gonna do.
Hey, is there any way that you could come in early? Yeah, could you just stop in? Okay, thank you. Bye. She'll be here in 20 minutes. She'll be good, so we just
Okay.
won't start Patty until she gets here.
Okay.
Okay,
And then let's call Tad. Hey Tad, can you come down early? If you don't mind, thank you. Yeah, right now, you can, thank you. If I would have known that, I didn't know Jason wasn't going to be here. If somebody doesn't tell me, then I won't put nobody in his spot.
Yeah, he didn't tell us till 7 o'clock this morning. He texted, said he
okay.
wasn't gonna be here.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, do we want to call Shannon and see if he wants to come on over to some early as well? I mean, that's,
yeah, I can do that too.
Because heck, we have 50 minutes until Patty gets here. If we can get taken care of everything before she gets here, and we can end our day on it.
and actually, I think I seen her walk in. I think she's here.
I'm sure she is, she's always early.
So, let's see, Enterprise is supposed to be coming.
Did you watch that basketball game yesterday?
Roller up, that was a good game.
It was a great game.
I've watched Michigan play so many times where I thought they were the best team in the country. After watching Purdue in the last 4 games, I think Purdue's the best team. If they play that way, they're the best team in the country. But,
They had a little time things just didn't kind of coordinate together, but they really are orchestrating a true team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on up, Ted. Yeah, I was very impressed. I'm like, this is too good to be true. 7 minutes to go. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, and they held their own.
I know,
So-
usually that third quarter, that.
Morning,
some
Tab.
people fall apart.
Yeah.
They go to
Morning,
sleep.
Tad.
They were awake.
It's like, man, what do they do those 8 games they lost? What do they do those games they lost?
I don't know.
But,
Hey,
good morning.
got a rezone for you.
Okay.
Joel Miller. I haven't issued an address yet because he hasn't told me where he's cutting his driveway in on. But
Okay.
he's over on Country Club Drive and State Road 350 there, northeast of Milan. He bought that piece of property and it was zoned I-2. And being that small a property, he can't make the 100-foot setbacks. So he's petitioned to rezone to RB. 'Cause he's got a business, he makes hunting blinds, and he wants to store them there at that location, and possibly even have a storefront there in the future.
Okay. And this was voted 8-0 favorable by the
Planning Commission last.
Planning Commission.
Right. I'll make a motion to do roadside business.
Is this it right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
So who's across the road? Who's this? What's across the road from here?
That's agriculture, excuse me, that's R1.
Okay.
This is RV over here already, and this is ag.
All right.
And I did get a resume over the weekend from someone. I will forward that to
Okay,
you
thank
as
you.
soon as I get, I got it on Friday.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks.
4? Who would have known that would have been such a hot commodity, Ted?
How you doing?
Not bad.
Oops.
Here.
Good.
Jeff, did you make that motion?
Yes, I did.
I second it, yes.
Sir.
Thanks, Tad.
Remember on it, I'll give it to you.
Nor.
Is the planning and zoning, like, are they, what's this, how are we approaching these interviews and applicants, and like, what's the process that's been established?
They haven't told me yet.
Planning and zoning hasn't told you yet? And they meet when?
April 7th.
Okay. I mean, my opinion, they all need to be involved in that process.
certainly.
Every member, like if they need to add it to a meeting, or they need to, you know,
Call special meeting, whatever.
yeah, because they need to be involved in that process.
Yep.
So when's your last day?
May 29th.
Yeah.
Guess the thought maybe could be do an executive session every, maybe
I presume, yes.
whatever amount of time they feel for whichever applicants they want, or if they want to interview all, however they want to do it. Set enough time before that, let whomever of the planning commission wants to be there, and you know the drill and the final action. But it's certainly be placed off to interview.
I mean, it looks at this rate, it's not going to happen until the May meeting.
April. It could happen in April, maybe,
Yeah.
Okay,
the April meeting.
If they call an executive, yeah, you don't have to have
Yeah.
a 48-hour notice.
okay. All right.
All
All right,
right.
thank you, Tab.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tad.
Yep.
Shannon doesn't get here until 9.
Okay.
So John, on this process with planning commission, since there's no meetings until the next meeting, how's this going to be set up if nobody's talking?
Well, my guess would be it probably just needs to at least interview the people, you know, whoever's
Yeah.
applications that have come in that look like they're a qualified candidate.
So So should,
have the interview, and if for some reason,
so should Tad get with the president, vice president to get this set up?
probably would not.
That's why he's waiting on
Right,
a
just
message,
let him
I
know.
think.
Put that out there, get it in the works,
Okay, I'll say something
so
to him.
that it can move forward, at least, and if one of those, who, of the applicants volunteers to be a qualified candidate, maybe you go ahead and take action at that first meeting in April, at the meeting in April,
Right.
the regular meeting, and then go from there.
Yeah, that way everybody's together, if they can get here an hour before or whatever it takes, but,
And
okay.
I wouldn't imagine that everybody can make it in advance, but as long as it's advertised in an executive session, everybody has the right to be here.
Right.
And hear and question.
Okay, I'll talk to Tad about it then.
Okay,
Thanks, John.
you're welcome.
So would we be talking to the planning commission people instead of Tad? Why would Tad set up that to hire his replacement? Wouldn't that be?
He's the one that does the scheduling and getting the meeting set up. Am I correct, John?
Well, yeah, the room's already reserved for that, for the April one, but
Yeah.
in order to do the executive session, and they could do an executive session beforehand, but keep in mind the planning commission members receive a stipend of $50 to attend each meeting. Time-wise, can they come before that and have an executive
Right.
session? Maybe not.
I would just think the question would be to the planning commission, where we're at on doing interviews instead of Tad. That's just my opinion, because, I mean,
Well, it don't seem like anybody wants to step up and get it done.
so are
That's why I've been stepping in.
Well, for him to basically, like Jeff suggested, that's not a bad suggestion. Get a hold of the president, get a hold of the vice president. If they're on board with setting up an executive session, hour and a half before the regular meeting.
I think it's a matter of they need their hand led.
So when the resumes come in, who are the resumes going to?
Tad.
Why would they not go directly to the planning commission?
I don't think they have emails.
I think the advertisement said submit them to either the auditor.
Okay,
or the
all right.
planning commission.
I mean, I agree that they need to go to the planning, like, this is the planning and, like, this is the learning curve for the planning and zoning department, that they've been in, that they're Tad's boss, or whomever sits in that position's boss, and if they're gonna hire, if they don't wanna do it, then we'll set up interviews, but by golly,
Yeah.
they need to do it, because it's very imperative that they get the right person in that position and do it, so,
Not to interrupt, I'm sorry. Bear in mind, they haven't had to hire anybody since then.
yes.
So it's-
Well, I know, but they also were never in a position where they held that position accountable either, so. Because I don't think when people call me and complain that I can't do anything to make that department better, because they're the boss. And if they're gonna be the boss and they're gonna hire the boss, they need to hire the boss. So, that's my frustration for the day. But, and it's just, I guess, it just seems like they're dragging their feet,
Correct.
so.
I submitted my money for the tree, and you have to.
We paid for ours directly. This is what happened is we got that grant and Patterson sent us, we paid it, and then they sent us a late fee because we waited for that fee. So I have it on my list here to call Dave Patterson and say, hey, you know what? No. So we're gonna, everything's been paid, yes.
Well, just wanted to follow up. From what I understand, three applications and resumes were submitted. The tech review committee saw those. Apparently, this makes a fourth that's come into Amy's office. But I think at the last meeting, it was never actually voted on. There was kind of a consensus, or at least nobody said no, for Ted to go ahead and pay to have it advertised on the American Planning Institute website for a couple weeks. That's in process, I think, of that being done. So the idea was, let's see if there's any more applicants out there who want to, and then kind of, it's my understanding that that was the idea, that set up the executive session, because that way there'd be at least enough time for that to have, for those applications and resumes to have come in. Because I think he maybe did that last week.
Yeah.
We have to ask for certain,
But they meet here in April, the 1st of April.
7th.
first Tuesday.
First Tuesday in April, that's after that. So probably, I think the conversation needs to go to tell Tad to get with planning and zoning and try to see if they can get something scheduled April 1st.
Yep.
That April 1st meeting before.
Okay.
And if anyone on that planning and zoning board has an email address that could be emailed, those applicants, I think they need to be emailed to.
So they
those
can review
applicants,
them
so they-
beforehand.
yes,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. I've been
Or
trying to.
have them printed to have them come in and get them.
Yeah.
I don't care, but
Right.
every member on that board has a dog in the fight.
Does Tad not have a contact list for the planning board?
Yeah.
I mean, if they have email, he'll have it.
Oh, yeah, he's got
Yeah,
it. He's got it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just forward them over, every applicant over to them, so that way it's starting to land in their lap, so then they,
See, it just has been, nobody's given direction which way to go. It's like, hurry up and wait.
Well, there was some discussion,
Kinda.
talk that maybe we should advertise on Indeed and LinkedIn, things like that, but there's fees involved with that and stuff.
Right, but that should have been discussed at meeting before, but it wasn't.
Right.
So-
I think the only thing that was actually talked about was throwing that job description and that one ad out there on the American APL, I think it's called the APL website. American Planners.
I know they did one of them, of the two that was mentioned.
So I think something that council might need to be aware of is I think they're really going to have a hard time getting somebody qualified for the money that they want to pay. So you're probably going to be hearing more about that.
Mr. French came to our last meeting.
Yeah.
yeah, it's, yeah. That's probably gonna be coming down the pike. I know it's not really what we wanna be doing, but I think having the right person in there. In my experience, if you get the right person in there, unfortunately, it might cost you more money, but it saves us down the long run, but,
But there's room for training
yeah,
if somebody else will come in for the same money.
so. It is 9 o'clock. Do we wanna go ahead and start signing paperwork? I don't see,
See, 9 is,
I don't
so
see.
Enterprise isn't coming, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
They'll be at the council meeting tonight. I'll watch it
Okay.
online. I don't know. Yeah, Enterprise will be at the meeting tonight.
Okay. I missed that, sorry.
Amy, are you all right if we go ahead and get signed?
Yeah. See it.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of March 2nd?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Claims and payroll.
Do we have a motion to pay the claims and payroll?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The only other thing that I have is there is a certificate of appointment for the Public Defender Board. Ron Decker sits on that, but it is your appointment.
I wonder if he attends.
He does.
Does he?
I just need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion. So that Ron sit on that board yet.
And that's not, I mean, he can do that.
He has to. It has to be a council member.
Okay, I didn't, all right.
Just,
I go against, yeah, I'll make.
Unless Peggy wants it.
No, that's all right.
All in favor, say aye.
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 That's all I have.
Easy peasy, nice and easy. It's 3:16. $420 to shred paperwork. Maybe we ought to just buy a burn barrel.
Yeah, no kid.
I just appreciate that, Rob.
Burned on the farm, you're okay?
Just depends how many tires you throw in.
That's right.
Don't send a smoke signal.
Just do it at night.
I had a lot of black smoke pretty close to my farm this weekend.
Something did burn down,
Yeah.
burn over there.
Near 229, 48, there's structure fires.
So there was where the Foresters live there. You know, that old cabin on top of the hill before you break the hill? One house back off 48 there.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
It got it pretty good.
Is that was west of 129, right?
Yeah. It's Fort Cross Law 3 from Napoleon.
Wow. That's crazy, because there was another log cabin a couple years ago down past, on the east side of
Yeah.
129 that,
Well, it wasn't a log, it was the house before.
morning. We're just signing some paperwork, it'll just be a couple minutes. Thanks for coming early. There we go.
Thank you.
You want that, John?
Enjoy.
I was just,
Yeah.
I figured you'd read what
Yeah.
the Senate bills they had, but I looked at it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't need to keep it.
There is some, read that about the lit, the update on the lit, because Ron Decker and I looked at it. We've been hanging out quite a bit, and, I didn't understand what it affect us.
If I can get a copy of that, I'd also.
Oh, you don't get that?
I don't recall that, but,
Oh, that should be mailed to your house.
Or here.
okay, well, maybe if I can just get a copy of that particular item.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know whose that is.
It's gonna change the restructuring of it.
Just, it'll be like 5 minutes.
Right?
Can I just take that and make a copy of it real quick?
Yeah, I'm not
They're
sure.
working on signing all that paperwork. You want just a minute. You were a little sooner than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I maybe overestimated how far it was.
Settle down, overachiever.
Take that and make a copy.
This is already, SEA 1's already passed.
That's what, when I read that article, I'm like, that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, did it already pass?
Yeah, that's old news.
SB1 was last year,
That's last year.
Okay.
but it said
Hey,
something
hey.
about how they made changes.
You can have that. You don't have to make copies.
Yeah, but, John, did you?
No, I'll have to take a look at where it's at in the statutes.
I know. I've read that statute 100 times and it's
Yeah.
like 500 freaking pages long.
Okay, good, all right.
Every time I read it, I find something new that I missed the first time, and the second time, and the third time. It's a lot. It's a big, big, big bill.
Was it beautiful?
Wasn't it a beautiful
Not
bill?
sure.
Wasn't it a big, beautiful bill?
It is not a big, beautiful bill. It is a pain in the ass bill.
Well, I haven't seen my property tax go down yet, so it must not have done its job.
Have you looked at your property taxes this year?
Probably gone up just like they have 5% every other year.
Bet you $100 they did.
Would it be online yet? Everybody that had a standard house, theirs all went down My dad's went down $100. Everybody else that was on 3 acres or less, everybody else's went down. But nope. I'm trying to protect the environment and have a nice farm
Oh,
and
no, yours went up good.
there it is.
So glad
There it is. Farm ground.
Went up like $13.
Yeah, it's been going up 5% every year for the last 5 years.
I pulled up a memo.
Sounds like mine's
from
going up.
GGF that basically as of January 1, 2026, they have put the base rate for agricultural ground at 21.20 per acre. I think that can come down though if it's lower productivity
Oh, mine's
21.20
very,
is what it is this year too. It never went down.
across
It's
the
the
board.
same. It's across the board.
But isn't
Throughout the
there-
whole state video.
Isn't there some reduction to it based on the quality of the ground?
No,
That's across the board,
it's across the board.
flat rate. Okay, flat assessment.
maybe I just take my fields and put in the wildlife and,
Just don't mow it, you'll get charged for it.
Oh, you ain't allowed to burn it?
They did jack the price on
I got charged
On property
excessive,
by soil taxes.
excessive yard.
quite a bit.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think it went from 7 to 20.
Yeah, more from
I can't even,
from 77.
I don't have my mouse and I can't do the GIS without having a mouse.
In central Indiana, went from 13,726 to 26.
Here, you want this one?
No, it's fine. It's not that important. Check it out when I get home. Hopefully it only went up $12. My escrow is,
It did. I just looked at it.
bill still wasn't good enough. Property tax should be 0. I'm advocating for
Well,
it
they
now.
quit spending money in the county, and it would be.
But doesn't the schools get most of it?
Yeah.
That's what I love. Property tax bills go out. My phone rings off the hook and I'm like, go talk to your school board.
Yep.
But that kind of changed too. Was it the start of last year where I think there's a flat fee and then, or that flat homestead exemption, but then isn't there a percentage that kind of helps the more expensive homes too? Helps reduce that?
There's a homestead and there's a supplemental homestead, and there's been a supplemental homestead for years.
Well,
And then they did away with the home mortgage one, right?
Yeah, but they added it to your homestead, so you didn't really, I mean, everybody gained, even if you didn't have a mortgage.
Because it went from like 45 to 48. Yeah.
I'm telling you, day you retire, should be free.
Can't say I don't like the way you think on that. I just don't know how you make it happen.
Now, is that a 62 or
Cut,
67?
cut.
Is
Yeah, but
that,
everybody wants more.
That's the problem.
That's
That, you know, it's
More
funny
for
because
less.
nobody wants to pay taxes, but then no one wants to, but then as soon as a service is cut or, you know,
You're getting phone calls.
you know,
But you're just as bad because you're sitting right there and have to do it, and you're bitching. Excuse my language.
I propose that county council cut 50% out of the county general next year. No way in hell is there, Peggy. Can't be done. But I'll tell you one thing, these school boards could probably make a dent in it.
Apologize, I didn't get the right one to take over.
I'm sure they can.
Which
It's
one?
all right.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, some in Dearborn School District, they put in an AstroTurf soccer field now. And I read online, they were gonna put in a golf facility, like a 3-hole golf course on their campus. Like, if you telling me that you're not overtaxing, and someone brags to me, well, we got 18 basketball courts. Well, I've not seen a basketball court educate any kids.
I
Well,
just wanted her to come in early.
I shouldn't say that, but
Go ahead.
not 18 of them. See, they were trying to keep me from going on a rant any further.
It's okay. Good morning. I just wanted to touch base with you all because I think I need some help. So this is kind of where I wanted to start. First being that I think a 911 board would be very beneficial to me. My previous agency had one. It consisted of the sheriff, someone from the sheriff's department, whether it be the sheriff or another deputy that they chose, their police department, someone from the fire department, EMA, and then one person that the commissioners picked as well, to kind of help me build a standard for the center. SOPs and things like that for response times, what kind of things people want to respond to, not necessarily want, but what kind of resources everybody has, setting a better structure for the center, and just for public safety as a whole. I think it is something to consider. I know that it's been brought up before. Will had kind of told me a little bit transition. I don't know if it has been or not, but it's something that I do not oppose and would absolutely love to have.
Is there anything in state statute requiring that we do that? Or that would,
That part I don't know, but I can look into it. So I know at Decatur County, for example, their 911 board does the part of helping set up standards and structure for the center, but I think they have a little bit of aspect on like how money is spent for the center as well, which is not entirely what I'm looking for. It's more so building the structure for the center that's needed. On occasion, if there is an event that needs discipline, kind of having another soundboard to kind of conversate with that about as well, depending on what the call was. So, kind of almost like a merit board for the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Same idea.
I would just write it up of what your proposal is
Okay.
and who would be on it, who would be a part of it, and then,
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Sounds like a great idea to me. I
Yeah.
just think we just need to make sure it's formalized and what we have to do from a legal aspect to put a board in place.
So it's just for advisory only, not to run the department?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As they plan on being paid positions?
And it wouldn't necessarily be paid. It's just kind of, I don't want to call it a committee, but
I'm just asking.
yeah. No. To my understanding, what they have set in place over there is not like paid positions for it. It's just.
So it's basically just going to be like a group, appointed group to help decide the needs of Ripley County?
Yes, the needs of Ripley County
Okay.
and like responses and things that are needed as well for different types of things.
because like certain, I think the highway garage needs to be a part of that too.
Yes.
Because, I mean, and I know I've said this 100 times, but it kind of came up over the weekend that whenever we have a chance to get the highway garage workers out to do something, it's better than a volunteer fire department that's not getting
I
paid.
will tell you, I worked all weekend and I blew their phone up. So they're very much a part of our response for things as well.
But the cool thing is I got a call about a tree down on one road. By the time I got a hold of, knew Jason was out, I called the foreman and it was already gone through dispatch. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So-
Good.
So back to the board, so would you be the president of the board?
I mean, essentially, I don't know that there would, I'll have to look into it a little bit more for Decatur counties. I don't know that there's necessarily a president. It's just kind of equal parts across.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to make sure that the board, I mean, you have some control over
Yeah,
the board.
yeah.
I wouldn't want them just to start coming up with stuff
Yeah.
and pushing stuff to you, then you not have any choice but to do it. So
More than likely, I would like to put myself as president for sure, especially since it's affecting my center. But I want to be able to hear from every aspect of public safety
Right,
in
but
one
I just
sitting.
want to make sure we get the wording written in it for what we're doing to make sure that, they'll be talking to you about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Question. So it's not gonna be like the park board?
No, this is just
No.
like an advisory
So in
committee.
other
It's
words,
advisory
it's just
board
like a
type
committee.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, call it the EMA. Yeah, because I mean, it makes sense to get all these people together to, instead of you calling, the sheriff's department and saying, well, what's the standard operating procedure for this, that you have, some towns involved and fire's a
Right,
whole
and
nother.
maybe, and in the future, not saying now, maybe some other type of incident is more regular, and so we need to kind of adjust our responses to it or what we need to do. For example, with Decatur County, I know, I didn't work there during COVID, but I know they brought up added procedure during COVID, just from an EMS standard of trying to figure out potentially what needed to be done or like how long maybe they had COVID, things like that. Questions that dispatchers asked to give that information to responders to respond to the pandemic at the time.
Why don't we just require everybody, one person from every department or supervisors that we have to go meet together quarter.
Well, because she's gonna be pulling in volunteer fire departments, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna bring in
That's-
EMS, I mean, obviously EMS, EMA,
Yeah.
EMS, EMA,
Highway
highway
department.
garage,
Right.
but, and then you need the sheriff's department, someone, a
Sheriff,
representative from the sheriff's
somebody.
department. And then the a couple
Yeah.
representatives from fires on the other side, you got some in EMS, like,
Right.
I just don't see it being considered a board. When
Yeah, it's a
people,
committee.
everybody should just
And
be
that's
meeting quarterly to
My fault
discuss.
for not understanding the difference between a board and a committee, so that's my fault. But they call it a board at Decatur County, so,
Okay.
Committee. Statewide, the state has a 911 board,
yes.
and you could probably use some of that. And then under home rule, we're allowed to do things, probably I presume these would not be paid positions, they're just
Right.
kind of, I got the statutes
Oh,
written down.
okay,
here.
okay, thank you.
And then if you want to call me about it or whatever, if you find something that's
They could,
interesting.
yeah, I would just write up a proposal, what it looks like and
Okay.
what, what the mission statement is or whatever, what they want to accomplish and what they're going to do and
yeah. And
bring
they
it to
could,
us and then.
and they could meet, just regular hours even.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
we put Jeff on it, you could set him up an office down there.
I got enough.
All right, anything else?
The other thing is too, I kind of already met with the council about this because they wanted to do meetings about budget for '27. But I kind of have a more immediate need now. I'm going to be going to them tonight to ask them for at least 2 PRN part-time positions to help with staffing. We are about to be down 2 for maternity leave. And possibly more in the future, just with people taking off scheduled vacation and things like that. I'm more than happy to help cover, but with me being salary and having a bank of only so much, I can only do so much. My secondary concern with that is the amount of overtime that we are doing right now just to help with this coverage. I don't want to burn my people out, which opens us to liability and things like that. It's a need. It's a more immediate need than waiting until later.
Just so council's aware, if anyone on council's listening, when we were going through the interview process and things like that for, the director, that was one of the questions we asked, is part-time help? Because I know Chris and Kendall saw value in, when they were here, I don't know if we did, asked her when we were hiring her, but there's a value of having that part-time element. We've never had it before, so I asked council to be open-minded on that if someone works at a different facility or somewhere else, works for the state, can come in and fill in some of them hours. It works with EMS, EMS, there's probably more part-time employees that we have for EMS, and it works out really well to fill in those gaps for a 24-hour facility. So
Well, and
I don't know the money, but I would strongly encourage council, because I think it's great that we're moving into that direction. I know keeps the overtime down for you,
Yes.
and it's,
And not even, of course I'm worried about myself, but I'm also worried about my people. I don't want them to be burnt out. I don't want them to show up to work and make a mistake because they've worked 16, however many hours
Yeah.
beforehand, or however many days in a row with those extensive hours.
Yeah.
It's not something that I want to risk for public
and
safety.
if you can have a sheet of 10 people across, that live in southeastern Indiana, that you're confident that you could bring in to fill in a couple shifts, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And also, my previous agency had part-time positions. When I left there full-time for a little bit to work at the prosecutor's office, worked there part-time. Most everybody that works there part-time currently was at one point a full-time dispatcher, stepped down to be part-time. Most of them work at another aspect of the county or did not. They worked somewhere else and just worked there part-time. So I think it's very much a need for our center to be able to keep
All
our,
right, so council members, please be open-minded to that.
yes. So I kind of already pre-prepared them, but I just wanted to make you all aware that I was going to be asking as well.
How many part-time are you after? Are you just trying to get a wage to work off of?
I have a wage in mind, but part-time people, honestly, I think it would be easier to do like a PRN instead of requiring every week they work 10 hours or whatever. What Decatur County has is they have a required amount that they need to work at least 1 shift a month to continue to be a part-time employee, but not necessarily a set amount of hours.
Ask Alex how she does it with EMS, because they do it, they have a list of people.
Yeah.
That
Gladly.
might give you some direction on.
I would minimally like 2, but the more the merrier, I'm not going to complain. especially if it's on a PRN standpoint, they're not regular hours. It's kind of come and go as you please. Overtime hours, like, I'm able to figure that out at least a month in advance, depending on, obviously, if somebody's going to call in sick or not. But I can figure out, based on scheduled time off, what hours need to be covered beforehand. I can present that to them first, which is going to save money from the overtime budget. And then whatever's left, I can kind of give to overtime to the current employees.
How many hours are you at your comp bank?
Was my next follow-up. I'm at 80. I probably need a little bit more. This past week, I did do training. I am working on trying to build my leadership skills and knowledge just for this position in general. The state does offer a decent amount of training for that, but I have to be able to go. So I went this past week, and we have somebody who's on vacation because we have another person out on maternity leave. I can't shove a supervisor there, so I covered this weekend. I'm at 80 right now. I think with this last week, I would be at like 82. So, and then I'm going to be using some next week, so.
All right.
Okay.
Don't burn yourself out.
I'm trying not to, which is why I'm asking for
You're okay
more.
with her keeping that?
That's what I was going to follow up with.
The extra couple hours,
Yeah. Because I'll be using them in a week, so.
Yeah, I think you'll be perfectly fine with carrying over a couple hours till next week.
I'm okay with that too, I just
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
make sure Ashley.
She has, are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That's basically where.
Couple hours.
Just a couple.
Couple
I
hours.
think- I think honestly, I literally just did payroll yesterday, and I think I'm at 82. So I would just be awarding myself 2 hours. That's mainly it. I just wanted to kind of make you guys aware, so.
Any
Yep,
other
that's good. I'm glad you did. So we are aware before we go to council. Yes.
Yes, I was like, oh, since there's a twofer today, I'll do this first, and then I'll go to the next, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Shannon,
Thank you very much.
Patty, we're trying to get everybody, our schedule clear so we can end our day with insurance renewal.
Save the best for last.
Yes, that's exactly it. Did you wear your high heels today?
No,
No, she's not making that mistake ever again.
Good morning. We have, it is time for us to apply for our community correction grant, and that grant has to be accompanied by a letter. We've only done one in the past, but although I think put more. So that's just a letter to authorize us to get to seek that grant, which we have been,
Next time, put all three of us on here. We'll all sign it.
yeah, we can.
You guys have any opposition to sending a letter regarding the grant for the,
It's just, we
Community
call it now the
correction.
Justice Reinvestment, but it's our community correction grant. We started getting
you
that
guys
grant.
met last week, didn't you?
We had, we met.
Yeah,
we met.
sorry about that.
No problem. So we have received this grant, probably, our first funding date was August 1st, 2015, so we've got it every
I
year.
was on county council when we started that.
Yeah.
And I had some reservations at the time about it, but then I sit on the board and have heard all the great things that have gone on with it. It was,
Oh,
it's been a great program.
Yeah, this,
Is it just a certain amount or it's
yeah,
different every
it's-
year?
300,000?
it's close to, it's close to 300,000. I don't have actually the amount, but it's like
Okay.
289, I think. Because 65,000 of it is for probation, and then the other
It's
is
just a letter for, like,
to apply for the grant.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did everybody get their 2025 year?
Yeah,
Yes, I
thank you.
Yes, we did.
If you have any questions, let me know on that.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Your numbers are down quite a bit,
Yep.
so crime down?
Well, if we're data-driven, and we are, that says yes.
Yeah.
Do you, for those that have been in government for a while, we're dealing with things on a less than what we used to deal with, and it's across the board. It's literally, if you look back if we look back 12 years, the offenses outside of our walls, so we work on changing behavior inside of our walls. Addicts come in, drug addicts out, we try to work with them to not reoffend. But outside the walls is like the proof in the pudding. So over the last 12 years, the alcohol, drug-related offenses, those are those same offenses that have been counted forever. The charges that people get outside in our county, the drug and alcohol-related offenses have reduced by 14% over the last 12 years, have gone down every charge. You know, you got domestics, possession, batteries, but the drug and alcohol-related offenses have reduced 14%. And there's no other reason. Why would it go down? I mean, but it's gone down because we do things, and people like John have been around a while, they're just different mechanisms in place that this county has. Programs, services, in-house programs, home visits, community corrections.
Yeah.
We gave 4,500 drug screens last year, 4,500 drug screens. And so we're not only seeing less, we're not reducing. We did 1,400 knock and talks, home visits in the community. So we're not supervising less, but we see less recidivism. We see our reductions dropping significantly of people that reoffend. And it's because there's things in our community that we didn't have before. The reentry services that we're doing out at the jail, that's a prime example. I mean, it's just like, what were they doing in the jail before?
Nothing.
Nothing, not even GED.
Idle hands.
Idle hands, watching TV, playing cards, working out.
Waiting for it to get out.
We collaborate with the sheriff, boom, 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 remove that visiting room, turn it into the programs room, and we've got at least two recovery support specialists working in and out of that jail, doing programming and then warm handoffs to probation when they come out of the jail to us. So it's really something to sit back and just look how much is going on in our community compared to what it used to be.
Let me ask this too. How many drug screens do you do that come out of civil court, like family law court, where parents are being asked to?
Yeah, we give a lot of drug screens to folks in Department of Child Services, folks coming out wanting custody of their children. They'll sit them downstairs, and we don't discriminate. We'll give a screen to anyone the judge orders. And that's like an effective tool the judges believe in. I mean, you can talk a good game, and we just assume give a drug screen, make sure that they're clean.
That's maybe an incentive. Maybe it's not the big thing, but it's a slight but measurable.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, some of this is taken for granted because we're always trying to chip away, but we definitely live in, our community is much better equipped to deal and address with drug-related, alcohol-related offenses and just safety in general than what we were before.
Right.
And community corrections is a large part of
Yep.
that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Shannon, thanks for coming over early, appreciate it.
All right,
I'm gonna
funds.
take about a 2-minute break.
Okay. Okay. We're going to take a quick break.
She wanted to give you this message.
Okay.
I got that information you wanted.
Okay, perfect.
No?
At the top of the pages, it's got the counties on them.
Okay.
And
Why
it's-
is there somebody back?
Anyway, that's our surrounding counties.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and that shows you what they got down as far as violations and the amount of the fines. And if
Okay.
you want to make copies, go ahead. I didn't have problems with all that.
I can keep this?
You can-
Okay,
that's
thank
your
you.
copy.
Okay, thank
Go ahead and
you.
make copies for the other commissioners if you would.
Okay.
Somewhere today, and give a copy to.
John,
please.
yes.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
all I need.
All right, thank you very much.
You're
Appreciate you
welcome.
doing the work.
No problem.
See you guys.
We'll do anything we can to help.
All
Have a
right.
happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, you too.
Can't figure out.
The alcohol board or?
I think they might meet on
I don't know.
or it could be state board of accounts conducting an audit.
They already did that, I thought.
I thought so too, okay.
Hi, Patty.
We'll wait till Roger gets back. We got good news today, you think? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
Rates going down,
Going down? No, nothing ever goes down anymore.
remaining static, not going up.
Depends on whether or not we want to make any plan changes. We're pretty darn close to the projection.
Quick question off the record. What is up with the stock price of Elevance Healthcare and United Healthcare being down so low? Are they under that much scrutiny from the federal government? Or?
I have no idea.
Relevance, because most of their.
I wouldn't know about
Most
why-
of their, my wife worked for them. And most of their accounts are through the federal government.
Well,
Like most of their, are government employees, like they
Yeah.
handle all the government employees, like
Well,
Elevance does.
Elevance is part of Anthem.
Yeah.
And I don't follow any of that stuff. I have no idea. I know, obviously, but we're a little bit far removed from that with all the United Healthcare and the bad press and everything that they were getting for a while there because claims being denied. I haven't heard anything in the news about Anthem and Elevance, but
The couple things I read, like last year, United Healthcare was under scrutiny.
Yes.
Because through Congress, maybe billing. Elements is under scrutiny now because they supposedly haven't submitted all the records on paper. Somehow, the way that they wanted them submitted, the CMS, through Medicaid, so they were talking about suspended Elements' ability to issue new Medicare Advantage plans.
on the
Plus,
Medicare side.
Well, the other thing I think that may have caused the drop was just the speculation that without the continuation of those COVID era subsidies, that
Yeah.
people would drop insurance in general. They
Well,
wouldn't.
I'm not a
Yeah,
smart
but-
man, but I'll tell you one thing. If the insurance companies are making a percentage on every transaction through Medicare and Medicaid, and the federal government just doesn't go in and say, you know what, cut it in half, or you're not doing business with us anymore, they would save the federal government a boatload of money. Because if you look at how much revenue was coming in, Humana only does Medicare.
Right.
Look at their stock price of what they make. You want to talk about, like, I'm not trying to, bust a company, ruin a company, but they're using taxpayers' money. If they made $5 billion last year, it's $5 billion of tax. The federal government's big enough to go, if you do it for half the price, or let somebody else do it. So anyways, all right,
The
I could probably talk.
They may not do it at all, then at that point, what do you do?
Yeah.
So sometimes you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
Well, it's funny, because there was a bill that happened, I think it was named after a president, I forget which bill it's called, but,
The Affordable Care Act?
yeah, that's the one, Obamacare. And I think the insurance companies just made out like a bad habit over it. And I'll
Yes.
tell you who really did, hospitals.
Yes, and I can tell you a story some other time.
Okay.
About how I know that those subsidies and DOGE definitely took care of that, because there was people getting those subsidies that absolutely shouldn't have, and I have a real-life example.
Good, I'm glad to
Okay.
hear that.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to start with this report. I've got the renewal report separately because I want you to have the projections and the renewal report side by side, so I'm kind of doing it a little bit, looks like a lot more paper, but there's a method to my madness. So we'll start with this report, looking at the financial dashboard. So this is the data June through January of this current plan year, comparing it to the same plan time period for last plan year. Enrollment is up a little bit, and medical claims are up. So last year, at this time period, for medical, we were at $678,000, or $800.
What page are we on?
I'm sorry, I am on page 3, the financial.
Perfect.
Yep. Last year, we were at $678,000, so those are the numbers in the yellow below the prior period. Right now, we're at $1.2 million, or $13.71 per employee per month, PEPM. Pharmacy is also up. We have one person that's on a high-cost medication, so we'll talk about that, but the pharmacy is up from $119,000 last year to $262,000. Last year, you guys were running so well that you didn't even have any stop-loss reimbursements. I don't think all last year you even had anybody hit your specific deductible last year. This year we have, so you've gotten not only pharmacy rebates at this point, but you had right now you have $254,000 in stop-loss reimbursements. So your fixed costs, so that's the premiums you're paying for your stop-loss protection and the administration through Imagine 360 of your health plan. Difference between $258,000 and $324,000. So total cost all in, adding that fixed cost with your claims and backing out those reimbursements and rebates. Total cost last year, we were just over $1 million, and right now we're at $1.5 million. Premium equivalent, so how you're funding the plan, both employer and employee contributions. So we held those pretty flat last year because we had such a great renewal, so not a significant difference in those. A lot of that's probably that difference in enrollment from 105 to 113. Last year, with the funding of the plan, we had a surplus of $481,000. Again, just claims were a lot lower last year. This year, you're still at a surplus because we funded to midpoint. So you still have a surplus of $56,000, so just not as big of a surplus this year. And then the reinsurance premiums that you're paying to the stop-loss carrier are actually below what you paid in last year. And then, as I said, right now you're sitting at 170% loss ratio, so the amount that you're paying for those premiums to the stop-loss carrier versus how much they've paid in reimbursement. So kind of a high stop-loss ratio. We usually, that win spot is somewhere between 80 and 85%, where the stop-loss carrier is still making money and enough to pay their overhead and things like that, and you guys are in a good place as well. Right now, you're at 170% loss ratio. Sounds like bad news, but let's keep going. Clinical report, so you had 16 claimants hit the high-cost claimant report. Majority of those were 13 of those were low-risk people. So those are those things that are one and dones, like birth of a baby, maybe a knee replacement surgery, things like that hit the plan because they had over $10,000 in spend, but then they didn't stay as on risk. But there are 3 high-cost claimants that we anticipate that will be ongoing. Those are listed on the next page. Like I said, you've got somebody on a high-cost medication, that Cosentyx at the top, that is for psoriasis. And I think they actually might be switching to a different medication, just as expensive, but it might be a different one. When I looked at the data, it looked like they might be on a different one now. And then the colorectal cancer, which good news on that one, it looks like they are wrapping up treatment.
Let's try to omit this from, we can read what it is. I don't want to say what.
We're a small enough county.
Yep. So the second person, I just won't talk about we do think that their treatment is wrapping up. And then the third person is somebody that's fairly new on with their diagnosis. Looks like their claims started hitting in September. So that one we anticipate being ongoing as well.
Okay.
The next 3 pages.
This is what we used to call lasers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because we're going to talk about lasers when I talk about this report. The next 3, you've already seen these pages, but this is where I'm going to stop and give you the renewal report, because I wanted to keep these renewal projections as a reminder to where we projected. So on that page 6, this is the projection assuming we made no changes to the health plan. In that yellow under the 2025 midpoint, that $2.3 million, that's how you guys are funding the plan currently based on the premium equivalents that we put into place last year. So we used those midpoint premium equivalents, which means actuarially, 80% of the time you fall with claims at or below that midpoint, and you guys funded the plan really well, which shows that still have a surplus, even though the claims are running a little bit hotter. So that $2.3 million is how you guys are currently funded. And then I just highlighted the expected and midpoint. But again, you guys, if you're comparing apples to apples and looking at midpoint to midpoint between 2025 and 2026, that projection that I delivered last time I was here was an increase from 2.3 current premium equivalents, and if we funded to midpoint again, would be 2.568 million. So a 9.8% increase. And then the next couple pages are just those projections if we amended the plan and raised that deductible, okay? So now I'll switch gears, give you the renewal report. And just keep those projections in front of you so you can see those.
That's a pretty significant jump in these projections. Is that just healthcare costs in general?
Yep, so if you look down at the bottom, the admin, so what you're paying for the administration of your plan, we projected, again, these are the projections that I delivered the last time I was here pre-renewal. Just looking at the way your claims were running, we projected a 4% increase in admin. The specific reinsurance, we projected a 15% increase. The aggregate premiums, 4%, PCORI, Affordable Care Act fees, Those actually are, Affordable Care Act increased those. Those are going up about 10.2%. And then trend is the big one. So that blended trend of 8.1%. So medical trend right now, we estimate to be about 7%. Really depends on who you ask that number to. But across our block of business and what we typically see is about 7% and 12% for pharmacy. So pharmacy is increasing faster.
Are the admin fees what we're paying Apex?
No, the admin, well, there's a small portion of that you pay Apex, but yeah, a big chunk of it is what you pay Imagine 360 to administer the plan. So pay the claims, ID cards, customer service, all that sort of stuff.
What are our monthly fees for Apex? Because I want to make sure that Hamilton Southeastern Schools gets their money back.
That's one of my clients too. Yeah. I'll talk about that, but not here.
Okay. I would like to know what our fee structure is.
Yep, it's in here.
Okay.
And then, so the blended trend, 8.1%, so that's the biggest piece of your puzzle because that's the claims piece of it. So the admin piece is a small piece, the PCORI, all of these other ones, those other fixed costs are a small piece of the puzzle. But when you're looking at that 8.1% increase of that claims dollar, which is your biggest number, that's where you see the increase. So again, the 9.8% increase is really driven by the claims. Okay? Okay. Switching, so keep those projections open in front of you, and we're going to look at the renewal report. That page 2 is just the markets approach. So again, staying with Imagine 360 to administer your plan. I think they do a really great job, customer service, responsiveness, what they do for you guys. The stop loss one was an interesting one for you guys this year. If you can look, we had nobody offered a quote on your group this year. And the primary reason is because of that loss ratio. So that 100 and, what did I say it was? Yep. Well, it was 170% loss ratio. Last year you had a 0% loss ratio. The year before that you had 155% loss ratio. The year before that it was 0. But then the year before that was 621. So you guys have been like this as far as your loss ratios. But overall, I feel like your trends as far as we've been able, because of the plan that you're design that you're on and building up that surplus, we haven't had those types of fluctuations with your premium equivalents and what the employees are paying as far as their contributions. So we've been able to ride those ups and downs because of the plan and how we've built up that surplus in your plan. So that's the good news. Your premiums, when we took those to market, all of them just came back and said the premiums are so low, we can't get competitive. So we even went back to, we expanded the market from our traditional preferred vendors to see if we could get anybody to bite, and everybody said that the premiums that you guys are currently paying are just too low for, and they couldn't get competitive.
Tokyo Marine wouldn't even give us a quote?
No. Okay, so page 3 is the renewal page. That current column is just all of your current contract terms, your premiums, your claims factors, all of that. So that's what you're currently, if you go all the way down to the bottom in section F, adding up all of your fixed costs and where your claims were expected at $1.8 million. And then the first column is the illustrative renewal, so how IOA Re came in out the door with your renewal, and then the firm renewal that they came in at. The only difference between their illustrative renewal and the firm renewal is in section D. They did come down on some of their claims, your maximum claims liability factors, so that maximum amount that they see as your all-in claims for the year, they did reduce those a little bit. So focusing on that column, that's the 1, 2, 3rd column, that's firm rates from IOA Re. So no change in your contract terms, still $75,000 specific deductible with that $50,000 aggregating specific. There is 2 lasers. Now, on our projection, we'd only projected 1 laser, and that was that high-cost medication. There is a second one, another one of those high-cost claimants that is also a projected laser that we did not project because at that time, when we did the projection, their claims were not trending that high. So there are 2 projected lasers. So your specific premium up 35%. The aggregate premium up 3.5%. So overall reinsurance increase of 33.5 or $77,000 a year. Organ transplant, so that's a small piece of the puzzle. It's just under $15,000 per year. Administration, so, and there's a page in there, Mark will get into, that kind of expands what all is included in that administration on the next page. Overall increase of just 1.2%. So overall fixed cost renewal of 20.6 or $80,000 a year. And then we take into consideration your overall claims liability, so those maximum claims, and add in that claims liability in with your fixed costs. You can look at it in E, so worst case scenario, all in your fixed costs and maximum costs, or fixed costs and expected is $2.3 million. So if you go back to our projection side by side, and you look on our projection for expected, we came in at 2.339. The real numbers came in section F, total fixed and expected of 2.312. And the head counts are just 4 people off. So we were pretty spot on our projection number and what we anticipated, what you need to fund the plan. So overall, again, if we wanted to continue to fund to that midpoint, would be a 9.8% increase overall if we wanted to keep the same plan design. Now, you've built up a little bit of a surplus. We had a good surplus last year. You've still got a surplus this year, so I don't know what that total balance is at this point in time. But this might be one of those years where we could consider funding somewhere between expected and midpoint. So just because we say you need to increase them by 9.8%, you don't. If you've got a decent surplus built up, we could go somewhere in the middle. Our premium equivalents are just suggestions. They're not set in stone. So I do have some clients that'll play with the numbers, look at their balance, and determine if they want to increase full 9.8% or go somewhere in the middle. Some of them will absorb that whole increase and bank on, well, hopefully we'll have a better year next year. Let's not pass on all of that increase on to the employees, and we can absorb some of that knowing that we've got that surplus balance sitting there. The next page, again, just as a reminder, right now you guys have that $2,000, $4,000 deductible, very, very rich high deductible health plan. If we wanted to increase that deductible from $2,000, $4,000 to $2,500 and $5,000, that brings your increase from that 9.8%, if we're going to fund a midpoint, would bring it down to 7.9%. So again, just alleviates that just a little bit. And then if you wanted to make the bigger jump up to a $3,400 deductible, that would bring it down to a 1.6% increase if you funded to midpoint.
It's currently $2,000 for individual and $4,000 for...
Family. Yep, so if you're on the plan by yourself, the most, and that's the out-of-pocket, that's the deductible. Once you've hit your deductible, your out-of-pocket is met too. So it's 100% co-insurance. So if I am an individual on your health plan and I satisfy $2,000, my out-of-pocket for the year is met. That's richer, that's a richer high deductible health plan, than PPO plans that we have.
Mine is $3,600 per individual, up, and then after that, it's 10% up to $6,000.
Yeah. And then the family, if you're covering a spouse or children on the plan, then the $4,000 has to be met. But then for the whole family, a $4,000 out-of-pocket per calendar year is extremely rich. While you absorb that, do you want to talk a little bit about the administration page? The next page, I'm not going to focus on because these are all options to raise your specific deductible. And looking at you guys historically, I don't think the savings that they're providing in reducing that premium that you guys would win, because historically you guys average around, like this year, it looks like you guys will probably have 4 spec hits. Last year we had none, but the year before that you had 4, the year before that you had 3. So the savings that they're offering just from your current contract and raising that specific deductible to $75,000 to $85,000 is only $27,000 annually that you would save. So you would have to have less than 2 people hit spec in order for you to win. Otherwise, you're going to be increasing your overall costs. So I don't think it's to your advantage to increase that specific to lower those fixed costs, because in the end, chances are you're going to pay it out in a spec hit anyway in the claims. So I think if renewing with IOA Re is the way to go and keeping all the same contract terms, it's just a matter of then how do we want to do a plan design change and how do we want to fund the plan. So I'm not going to look too much on this page 4. Page 5 is how it breaks out all of those admin costs. So there's a lot that goes into all of those fees. The administration fee, like I said, so what you are paying, Imagine 360, the ELAP, so that is a fee that you pay that's included in that number above. That's because you guys are on that reference-based reimbursement. PPO network access fee, you guys don't have that because you don't have a PPO network. You're paying Imagine 360 for COBRA administration, so that's $1.50. Next several things are just included with the administration through Imagine 360. That EAS choice, if you remember.
Which page are we on?
Page 5. That EA choice, if you remember, I think it was July of last year that we added that network, that behind-the-scenes network for St. Elizabeth. So anybody could go to, St. Elizabeth and not get balance billing or anything because they are a high utilizer on your plan, so you're paying that $3 PEPM to have that on your ID cards and have that benefit to your employees. And then some of these other fees are just case management fees that happen anytime they have any kind of a case management, disease management, things like that. PBM interface fee, so that is the fee that you pay for Imagine 360 and your pharmacy benefit manager to speak to each other and share data. And then the reinsurance fee, it's another Imagine 360 fee for integrating with your reinsurer. And then that broker and consulting fee is what you're paying Apex.
So what is this 118 column that has, what is this 118?
That's the head count. So all of these are per employee per month fees. So
it's
it's based on 118.
Not per incident, it's per employee per month.
Yeah, per
Okay.
employee per month. So like that, the top, the service for Imagine 360 is at $41.20 currently. Renewal goes up to $42.44. That is a per employee per month. So that $42.44 times 118 times 12 is how much you pay annually for that.
So about $4,500. So we're not paying what Hamilton Southeastern Schools is paying.
They're not paying. Yeah. Call me.
I will. I'm just busting your chops.
It's that whole media
Isn't it great?
bends things to fit their narrative. That's all I will say.
I got it.
So overall increase in your administration fee, 1.2% or less than $1,800.
Okay.
Our broker and consulting fee, I've been working with you guys for 7 years now and has never changed. We've never increased it or changed it.
I will say this, Patty came in early this year and I love that, because if we can get this done by the end of this month, or the end of next month by April, so we can start
Payroll
billing
deductions.
the new in May, so we don't have to backbill if it goes up.
And the whole
See what I'm
reason,
saying, because May pays for June.
Yep.
June's the renewal date. So
So what,
if,
so in your mind, so what's the deadline when this needs to be done, in your mind?
well, I mean, like, at least by mid-April.
yeah.
So what meeting in April? So, I mean, we just need to make that deadline and make it happen.
Yeah, I would
I mean, you tell us the day in April, and we'll make it happen by that date.
That's why I kind of did this way in those conversations, so you can see how close we are in our projections. And I see this,
By April 13th, by that meeting. And
that,
then that'll at least give me 2 weeks to
Yeah.
get anyone that
Got
does
a meeting
changes
this
in,
month, yeah,
get them
too.
yeah,
on
We
dated,
can
so
almost
they're
do
not
it next
backbilled.
yes.
I mean, because that hurts our employees when
Yeah.
our insurance goes up and then we have to backbill.
Can we just not do it next month, next meeting?
Next meeting.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
If
I mean, that would
helps
be
you out.
amazing for me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not like we're gonna be finding that, we're gonna be waiting on a bunch of information. We just need to make the decision.
Yeah,
make
you
it
just
happen.
need to decide, because I think, obviously, we're going to renew with the current stop-loss carriers, since they're the only ones that gave us an offer. And do you guys agree to just keep all of the terms of the current contract with the stop-loss carrier the same, not raise that specific deductible? Just keep it the same?
As far as for the stop loss?
Yes.
Yeah, because like you said, if we do change something
Yeah.
on it, we're not saving money.
No, you're not,
That's the, just.
You're gonna have
you
more
guys
s-
understand, and if you know this already, just tell me to shut up. But I believe what she's referring to is the stop loss at the $85,000.
right now, you're at
Once we
75.
hit that, we're at 75, it's gonna go up to 85, but we can adjust that number and put like an aggregate to try to get a lower rate, but if we do that, she was mentioning
Is it
before.
go up to 85?
No,
No.
that's an option, so that's, so essentially what you're doing is, right now, you're at a $75,000 specific deductible. If we raised it to $85,000, that means you're on the hook for each member on your plan an additional $10,000 before stop loss kicks in. So, as, you know, you would get an extra 10,000, you would get an extra 10,000, so you're on the hook as a self-funded plan for an additional $10,000 per member. So that reduces the premium you're paying to the stop-loss carrier, because now it delays when they kick in and have to start paying claims. But if you had 3 people hit that specific deductible, so now you as the plan have paid an additional $10,000 in claims on you, and you, so that's $30,000 that you've paid in additional claims because you raised that specific deductible. Well, the premium savings that they're giving you is only $27,000. And you've
We're
already,
anticipating three.
And you're anticipating-
3 people
yes.
to hit that number.
yeah. So they're not giving you the savings and fixed costs that would warrant that extra potential liability.
The reason why I wanted
claims.
clarification of that, because what you were asking, if we don't change any of that, then she can proceed
Yes.
with.
I can get the renewal going, and then all we're working on is behind the scenes, if we're going to amend the plan at all, and how we want to fund the plan, the premium equivalents and employee contributions. And we have plenty of time to do that. You guys can just kind of review that and see if we want. I do recommend that we make a plan design change, maybe not jumping all the way up to the $3,400, but I think moving it up to the $2,500 is warranted. I mean, you guys are absorbing as a plan, because we haven't changed that. Again, I've been working with you guys for 7 years, we've never changed it. But, so, we were talking at the beginning and talking with John, how, you know, it's not getting any less expensive healthcare
What's the max amount of
costs.
health an individual can put in a health savings account? Is it half of the 830?
No, it's indexed annually, and this year, I think it's like,
I think it's $800 or $8,300 for a family.
yeah, I always forget what the amount is.
I didn't know if it was 50% of it.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the deductible amount. The IRS sets it annually. 2026 HSA,
So what's your question? What's the health savings account?
$4,400 and $87.50 for family, so $4,400.
That's how much money you legally put in your health savings account without paying taxes. And I think if you start talking about changing the deductible, I wanted to make sure that those numbers were under that amount.
Yeah,
4,400, what's it?
For an individual.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's per individual, right?
Yep, $4,400. If somebody's employee only, if they're covering a spouse and/or children, it's $87.50.
And if you're
And then if you're old folks, you get the $1,000 catch-up contribution, which I think I read something about that they might be changing that for the first time ever.
Increasing or
And it's going to, no, increasing it, but it's going to somehow have something to do with your salary. I need to get more educated on that, because I think if you're making so much, then you get like capped or something. I need to
It
get
could
more.
be based on modified.
All right, well, the only reason why I was asking is I just wanted to see where that put an individual if we were to make anything on the deduction.
They'd still,
Because I see the.
they would still be able to fund
Yeah,
up to their out-of-pocket maximum and then some each year.
okay. So as far as decisions today, if we wanted to say, like, give you the go-ahead to,
For IOA Re, and just to go ahead and renew the stop-loss contract,
yes,
we can do that.
and then what other decisions would you need from us today?
Okay, so let's move, and again, this doesn't have to be today. In fact, I do have some outstanding questions that I want to get. So fast forward to page 10 of that renewal report. Let's talk about the dental and vision real quick. Current renewal with, or current rates with Delta Dental, the renewal came in at a 22% increase. We are starting to see dental increases, page 10.
Sorry,
You're fine.
I was calculating.
We're starting to see a lot of higher than usual dental increases across the board. I had one of our stop-loss carriers come in and talk to us about it, that one of the driving is staffing. So when the pandemic hit, a lot of those dental hygienists were out of work because dental offices closed. Who wanted to, I mean, that's probably one of the worst jobs to have during a pandemic. A lot of them didn't come back. They found other jobs or other avenues, and so there's a shortage of dental hygienists, and so the ones that are still on the market are asking for a lot more money. We're also starting to see a lot more dentists not wanting to be, because dentists are really in business for themselves. And we're starting to see a lot more of them really not wanting to do that and run a business. They just want to work on dental, what they went to school for. So we're seeing a lot of them now taking jobs within those box, the ones that are open on evenings and weekends. I can't think of the name of one of them right now, but you know what I mean, those ones that aren't like a dental office. They're more of those retail type setting. So a lot of different factors that are coming into it, a lot of increased technology in dental and what they're doing, so all of that increased technology comes at a cost. So we are seeing an increase, but I think that was a little bit high of an increase. MetLife came in at 11% increase, so if you look, 11% sounds like a lot, but if you look at the current employee and the monthly rates down at the bottom, the line for employee only currently is $24.37. In the far column under MetLife, it's $28.49. So it's an increase of less than $4, or right at $4 a month in premiums. My outstanding question to MetLife is what their network is here in Versailles. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I will tell you, so up here under MetLife at the top where it talks about usual and customary, and it's got that 90th percentile versus Delta Dental as a fee schedule. What that means is Delta Dental it's essentially a fee schedule. So if I go in and I have this root canal or this process, this code, based on their fee schedule, that's what they're going to reimburse. If you happen to go out of network, so usual and customary really comes into play in out-of-network dentists, they're going to reimburse based on their fee schedule. So it doesn't matter where that happens, or,
They could end up with a balance.
Exactly. And in rural areas, a lot of times the dentists don't like to join networks because they don't have to. There's no competition. So that's what we find a lot of times, that we need strong out-of-network dental benefits, because a lot of times the dentists in the area don't join networks. So MetLife's proposal at that 90th percentile tells us that for anybody that is out of network, they take a survey of all of the different procedure codes and what 90% of those dentists in that area charge for that fee, and that becomes their base point, and they're going to reimburse any out-of-network claims based on that 90th percentile. So it greatly limits the amount of balance billing that members will have. So while you still have the same network benefits, 100% for preventative, basic is at 80 in and out, major services are at 50 in and out, so the percentage that the plan is paying remains the same. It also helps eliminate any of that potential balance billing because you've got a strong out-of-network benefit.
Is the the 8737 what the employee pays for dental?
No, that's the premium altogether.
All together.
Premium.
You guys pay a small,
They pay 85%.
yeah.
You guys have paid 85% for the last 6 years that I've been here.
Yeah.
Of the premium.
And so that's the all-in
Right.
total
Dental's getting to
premium.
the, dental's getting to the point, I'm gonna say this, that it's getting so expensive, just like regular insurance, that someone's getting to the point where it's cheaper to pay for, it is literally getting to the point to where it'd be cheaper to pay for your out-of-pocket costs and pay the premium.
Yep, it depends on the person. Some people,
'Cause I mean, like-
I agree, because yeah, all I usually go for is my cleanings twice a year.
Yeah, it-
And I did have to have a filling fixed this
Yeah.
year, but yes, what I pay in the premiums, if it's a voluntary plan and the employers, I mean, you guys are generously providing a lot of that premium, but if it's voluntary to me, I'm going to look at my HSA, because you can use your HSA money
Yeah.
to pay for it.
Like that.
Yep,
So you're saying this, so the current is just for the family, 8737.
yep. And the renewal is at 96.60.
So that- I wanna
The
kinda-
renewal is at
Right, but the
106.51.
8737, that's per month.
Yep,
And you're saying we're paying 85% of that? Okay.
the county does. And then at the renewal, if you stayed with Delta Dental, it increases it to
So
106.51.
I just want to make sure that's clarified for anybody listening.
Yes,
If
yep.
they're hearing the numbers,
Yeah.
so.
And then for under MetLife would be 96.62. So $10 a month more overall, total premium. That's not the employee portion.
In the end, I had to deal with the reimbursement before with my own insurance. Wasn't really
Right.
that bad. I paid for it out of pocket, I paid for it with my HSA,
More, a little less.
I'm sorry.
Like
and then got a check.
85%
Yeah.
for all of them, maybe a little more, a little less.
The other thing, Delta Dental, if you go out of network, they pay the member directly and make the member pay the provider. They don't send a check directly to out-of-network providers. It's just an administrative oddity about Delta Dental, and MetLife will. So if you happen to go to an out-of-network dentist, it's going to process the same as it would, they're still going to
Okay.
pay the
Okay,
provider.
that's,
Will
Yes.
MetLife work with our,
Ben admin?
Yeah.
Yes, and they're given the tech credits to pay for it as well.
Yeah, so on that, so if we went with the MetLife, the actual individual for a family would be paying another basically $1.40 a month. So that's how.
yeah,
The other thing that MetLife in that print below.
still saving them money
Yes.
versus staying with Delta
Yes.
Dental.
Exactly, yep.
MetLife has capped your renewals for the next couple of years, so an increased cap of 7% next year and the third year. So again, when we're starting to see double-digit renewals, they've agreed to cap those renewals for the next 2 years at a single-digit number. And then one more thing on the next page, again, right now you have your vision through Delta Dental with VSP Network, moving it to MetLife with the Davis Vision Network is a no, they've matched the current rates. That's another one of my outstanding questions. I just want to see how VSP and Davis, I believe the difference is a lot of, the VSP is more of the optometrist and ophthalmologist offices, and Davis Vision has a lot more of the retail box shops, which I think people, in my opinion, I do anyway, are going that route, where they're going to more of those eye meds and those different types of places. So mix of both in both networks. I just think VSP is more heavy on those actual physician offices versus Davis Vision. So I want to clarify that, but again, that's a no increase to the members
By switching to MetLife.
by switching it to MetLife.
Did they
And
give
then the
any
rest-
did they, if they, can we get them to guarantee the more than 7% increase for the next 2 and 3 years?
The vision?
Yeah.
The vision is a rate hold for 4 years.
Okay.
Yep, so they gave a 4-year rate hold for the vision. And then the rest of the report is all of your other benefits that are all already in a rate hold, so no change in any of those. They're just in here
Did
to,
things get better with that standard,
Yes.
Amy?
yeah, that's why we didn't quote them this year, because they were all in a rate hold, and because things are better. We've implemented that benefit administration system that
And
makes it,
it's amazing.
yes. It took a while to get it up and running, but it made the life a lot easier administratively, because now everything just
For us,
automatically feeds to
anyway.
Delta, it feeds to Standard, it feeds to Imagine 360, and all they have to do is go into one platform, and
It
it
feeds
fills
to
it
all
all
of
out.
them, or instead of us going into standards
Nice.
platform, Imagine 360, Delta Dental. I mean, it's an amazing thing, portal.
And your stop loss, or not stop loss carriers, your ancillary carriers are funding that, so you guys don't
Yeah,
have
we
to
don't
pay for that. So like, that's what Amy was asking. MetLife is giving tech credits that'll continue to help pay for that if we move away from Delta Dental.
So is there anywhere in here that has the, like your employee, employee and spouse, employee and children and family, how many we have on the books
Yep.
for that? Where's that at?
Yep, so on the dental page, right above that, the rates is the enrollment.
Okay, so where are we, I'm on the dental.
On
page.
dental, in the orange, it says enrollment, employee, employee spouse, employee children.
Yeah,
Yep.
so this is the actual number?
Yep, this is the
Okay.
number of employee.
As of probably when she done this book. I mean, it changes
Oh, yeah.
it changes more than you think it does.
We take a snapshot of time when we work on renewals and say, once we start it, then we keep that same, so we're doing apples to apples throughout our analysis. So at that snapshot in time, that was what the enrollment was.
Okay.
One other thing I want to touch on is just to kind of give you guys that First Stop Health, that telemedicine that we implemented last year, how well the utilization is going. And Amy, I don't know if you guys hear any feedback?
Yeah, I mean, we have, and my girls have used it a ton, and they love it. Because they're not going to the doctor, they're not.
Yes.
I mean, anybody that I've talked to has loved it, but I haven't heard any complaints on it. That doesn't mean there hasn't been, but I haven't.
As long as my main thing is that it's been utilized.
Yes, so page 1, you've had, and this is since you guys implemented in June of last year, there's been 59 visits that have been completed. The average rating, 4.8 out of 5 stars. If you annualize that utilization, 67% utilization, that's phenomenal for a telemedicine visit. An estimated savings of just under $13,000, and I'll show you how they calculate that. That next page, the virtual, so what you guys purchased through them was just the virtual urgent care. Average time to connect with a physician is 11 minutes, so they go in, they request a visit, and it takes about 11 minutes for them to get back to them, and then it only takes average 3 minutes for those visits. Top symptoms, respiratory, sore throats, urinary issues. Most of those look like the prescriptions that they're giving. Majority of those are antibiotic-type things. In the bottom left of that page, the outcomes, so how these people avoided other care. So they ask during those calls, what would you have done if you didn't have First Stop Health? Majority of them would have gone to a doctor, so they avoided going to a doctor, about 73% of them. About 15% of them might not have done anything, just gone and gotten over-the-counter medications. About 10% of them would have gone to an urgent care, and then 1.7 is right-sized. They just kind of told them what they already knew, that I've been taking over-the-counter medications, and they just verified, yeah, just continue doing what you're already doing. This next page is the savings and how they break that out. So based on those, how people avoided the doctor's office, the majority of that was from avoiding the doctor's office, so $11,000 based on the average physician cost, and then $1,700 in urgent care avoided. So overall return on investment, 127%. And then that next page breaks it down so you can see every month we have people utilizing it. Obviously, November, we had a lot of respiratory, colds, flus, everything going on, so there was a spike in that utilization at that point in time.
So is there a way to, do we have data anywhere to provide, just so for November, for example? I guess 15 people used it in November, that's what that meant?
Uh-huh.
And then the number one thing they went to was, when you go back to this next page, was the top symptoms. Is there a way that we can pull data that shows people went to the how many people actually went to the doctor for these same symptoms, to lay it over this, so we can say, hey, these people, we could have saved this much money if these 48 people would have used this instead of going to the doctor?
I'll have to see if Imagine 360, they might be able to run a report to see how many physician visits. They might be able to. Most of the time, all of our claims data that we're getting are on high-cost claimants.
Yeah.
So I don't really, but
I'm
yeah.
just saying that would kind of show a potential, I mean, they're showing the
Yes.
actual savings.
Yeah.
But there could be another underlying graph that could show potential savings.
Yep.
These people would have used
Yep,
this.
yep. Engagement highlights, so what's grabbing people's attention and why they're using it. Majority of the people, because they've gotten an email from First Stop Health reminding them of it. And then the next highest is text messages.
And that's what they said, when we signed this contract, they said that they would take care of all
Yes.
the promoting and all the,
And then what's
if we
grabbing.
wouldn't, they would reimburse
Yep.
us.
What's grabbing their attention, so the
Maybe
most
they have that
things.
information, Roger.
Right, so, and then you say, so do we require employees to have an email on file
So,
for insurance?
We put them in there, yes.
Yes.
If they give them to us.
and part of that,
But there's nothing that says they have to give it to us.
no. But
We-
is it a required field? Is it a required field in Employee Navigator?
I don't think so.
Because we could make it a required field in Employee Navigator. So Employee Navigator is the Ben admin system that we talked about, and they're the ones that feed the enrollment data, so we
Ashley
know.
does all that, like, I just
Yeah.
like wiggle my way through it. if
Yeah.
I have to. I'm not
Well, that's
gonna
what-
do
that's
that,
what
'cause I
count-
don't deal with it every day.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was going with. If you say people are getting a response because they're getting an email,
Yeah.
then we need to make sure we figure out a way to make sure everybody has
Yep.
their email on file.
Email or a cell phone
Yeah.
as
Because they can
well.
send text messages.
Yep, they can send text messages and emails. And then the savings appendix, just so you are aware, a doctor's savings, $256 per is average. Urgent care, $287 is the average. So that's, again, just reiterating where they come up with that total savings of
Actually,
$12,753.
it is required.
Okay, so you've got email
I'm
addresses
mistaken
for
on that.
everybody.
I didn't think it was, but it is. Ashland's the one that deals with
Yeah.
that work
Understand.
all the time. I'm not in it very often. I can get in it, but I'm just gonna wiggle my way through it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, so everybody is getting those emails. Now, whether or not they read them,
If you use the portal.
yeah, if you use,
If you're on our insurance.
yes.
You're
So,
going to get them emails.
yes.
Okay.
So
Because there's an
everybody,
email listed in there.
everybody,
Because-
yeah, go ahead.
And then only medical insurance.
Yes. Anybody that is enrolled in the medical plan is eligible for First Stop Health, but then anybody in their household can use it. So that's another huge benefit. You're only paying per employee per month. So if it's a family of 8 that live in that household, you're not paying any more for everybody. And that's not just your spouse and children. If you've got grandma and grandpa living with you, or a niece or a nephew for whatever reason, anybody that lives in your house is eligible to use the First Stop Health.
Yeah, and I think we need to make sure everybody's aware of that.
Yep.
You know,
I
Even
mean,
if
And
they're
we
not-
promoted it,
Yeah.
We make mandatory meetings every year.
and we actually
I-
had First Stop
You can
Health come with us.
You can mandate it all you want, but not everybody will come.
Right.
Yeah, you've still got phenomenal utilization for telehealth. That's a huge number.
And honestly, when we hired them, it was their job to promote it.
Yes,
And
yes.
if they don't promote it,
They
then.
get money back.
then
You've
they
got
pay
a
us
utilization
back.
guarantee. So if they don't hit those utilization numbers, they will refund your money and what you're paying in those PEPMs, and they're exceeding the number that they were supposed to.
I don't think I've received any emails since I've been on it.
Do you have an email, a correct email address?
I just started this
But you gotta keep in mind,
beginning fiscal year.
you gotta keep in mind though too, if you have a junk mail file like that.
Yeah.
Email is, in my opinion, is the worst way to communicate with
So
someone.
maybe we can do a few emails to tell people, hey, check your spam. Or, I mean, they're sending out text messages too. Neither one of you have ever gotten a text message? Okay.
Not that I'm aware of,
You haven't either, Roger?
No.
because I have no
I've never got
idea
a
even
text.
how to use it, so.
Have you gotten an email?
Not that I'm aware of.
Unless they're going to spam.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I-
that-
emails.
Because I know people are getting them
Yes,
because.
obviously.
If they're marketing emails, like from a marketing department or like from a Salesforce.
It would
they're
come
going- they're
from
going
First
in-
Stop Health,
They're going in your junk mail file.
yeah. But the text messages should usually still come through.
Yeah.
And the only thing I need to do is reach out to them.
I don't think I've got any.
I did want to bring your attention to something that First Stop Health also offers. I don't know if you guys are interested or not, but mental health is a big item we're seeing across our block of business. Used to have a lot of stigma. Nobody really wanted to get treatment for it. Now we're seeing it as one of our high claim dollars for people getting that treatment. And we're finding out that a lot of people are having trouble accessing care for mental health because there's just not enough providers and people having to wait months to order to get it. First Stop Health does offer a separate package for whole mental health. So it is exactly what you would do if you were going to see a counselor or a therapist in person. It's just picking one and seeing them virtually. So it's not like an EAP where you get 5 free visits and then you're on your own. It's just like seeing a regular licensed therapist or counselor. You're just doing it virtually instead of in person. So I just wanted to bring you that attention since we are seeing some positive utilization on the urgent care piece of it. It is an additional $7.50 per employee per month. So it'd be the same people that are on the health plan. So if we went with it's 114 times 750 times 12, it'd be $10,000 a year approximately to add that component.
I think we need some statistics on how much the current spend is on this through regular providers. Can you provide us that?
Yeah, I can find out.
Yeah.
Where did my pen go?
So I don't want to spend, if
Yep,
there's only
nope, I agree.
500, $5,000 worth of expense a year, I don't see a reason to spend $10,000 for this. I mean, it probably does get used. But
Okay. That was all I was going to throw at you. So if as far as decisions, what?
That's all.
That's all. We're good with the stop loss. I know we need to vote on the stop loss and
Are you
renew it
guys
with them.
okay with that? Or have any questions regarding that stop loss?
I agree with you.
Okay.
The dental and vision, you've got all of that information, but I do want to find out dig a little bit deeper on the MetLife network for both their dental and their vision here. So But I think even given the rates, I think that, and having that strong out-of-network presence for the plan design versus staying with Delta Dental at a 22% increase. I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and vote on that.
I have a question on that. I have no dog in this fight. I'm not a person on insurance. But it looks like the county pays 75% of that?
I think Amy said 85%.
85. Well, here it says ER. I'm presuming that's employer.
Yeah, we do estimates on our reports.
I guess my question is, does the dental coverage, because I thought in your commentary, some of the dental coverage isn't that great as far as what the coverage is that correct? Did I understand that?
In my opinion,
Well-
you're guaranteed your
What Mark-
twice a year cleaning.
Yeah.
And as soon as you go in there because you need some orthodontics done, they spend $1,000 and you don't get anything. Like they don't pay your braces, they don't pay, they'll pay a one-time lifetime benefit, and then after that,
Well, ortho, you guys don't even have an ortho benefit. You guys have never elected to add one. I think we've talked about it in the past, and you guys have never elected to add, so there's no ortho benefit. But yeah, I mean, we're starting to slowly see that, so you've got a $1,000 annual maximum benefit that the dental pays out. Because the cost of dental is going up, we're starting to see that benchmark increase from that $1,000, what most employers offer, to maybe $1,250. I do have some that have increased that to $1,500 to give a little bit more. But the majority of the people are going and getting their cleaning, their free cleanings every year. And then, like I said, somebody like me that just had a filling fixed. So I never max out my $1,000 maximum benefit each year. Some people do, but you can also use your HSA. So to Mark's point, if you've got a healthy mouth and you want to, self-insure your dental, a lot of people do.
my
because-
premiums are $1,300 a year.
Yeah,
For me to pay for cleaning of $150 for everybody in my family, it's like a break-even point. And then it's like, oh, every 5 years you might need a crown, you're paying for it anyway.
So the reason I was asking, if we are paying, if the county is paying 85% based on MetLife's proposal.
Yep.
The county be paying $65,366.70 roughly.
if you did the math, I'll trust you. That's
I
70,
did- I
you
took
took that
the-
70,
I took the 7692
Yep.
times 0.85.
yep.
And not that many people use it, and if it's not perhaps the world's greatest benefit, would that money be better allocated to the employees in general as additional
That's what I was kind of thinking about.
offset?
And-
So,
And make it
years
vol-
ago,
They're still available
yep.
voluntary, but
years ago, you guys used to self-insure the dental insurance. Amy, I don't know if you remember that or not. But you guys did have,
I've been very fortunate not to have to have
Yeah.
county's insurance.
yeah, through Imagine 360, and you self-insured it, and so there's no stop loss. So it's dental, so nobody's going to have $1 million claim or something like that. But I don't know on a group your size what data I can get to find out if it would make more sense at this point in time because the premiums are going up. Should we go back to just self-insuring the dental? Now, when you self-insure, then there's no dental network, so you're not getting discounts, which is the reason why we switched from self-insuring over to fully insured, because the claims are the claims and there's no discount for having that network. And at that time, it made more sense financially to add a network and have a fully insured product. Are we getting to a point where maybe it doesn't make sense?
I was just wondering, and I don't know, if dentists charge the same fees for if you come in and just write a check on your health savings account, or if you pay cash, versus
If
having
I-
to run it through insurance.
If I had to guess, they would probably, kind of like a hospital, that they're going to discount it if you're self-pay.
That's what I'm wondering sometimes, would all employees be better off if that were voluntarily only, but they had some extra coin in their pocket?
They put it in an HSA, put this.
If they're
part of this
participating in an
85%.
HSA, or if there's a premium reduction or something of that nature. I'm only asking the question just to explore, would
Yep.
that be money better spent for the employees and for the
To
county.
your point, if you wanted to put the money into an HSA, keep in mind, the same people that are on the medical aren't on the dental, so you're going to have people that might be enrolled on the dental and not have an HSA account.
It is
That is
different.
correct.
It is different.
So it could
So
be-
they wouldn't be able to use an HSA
it almost
to
had to
pay
be a
for it.
premium reduction or a.
I think it needs to be, I think we should still offer it because, I mean, every employer in the country is offering dental
Well, yeah.
as a
Yeah,
benefit.
but you-
But it's up to the individuals, having the conversation, it's up to the individual to outweigh.
I was looking for my benchmark report.
I mean,
I thought I had it with me, and I
I was
don't.
only bringing it up for food for thought.
as, I agree
Are
with
you
you,
getting your value?
but I also don't want us to do something that no other employer's doing just because we see that, because I agree, so in the health savings account, but you could almost look at that as taking a benefit.
But you could always-
Even though it looks like it could take a.
Amy, are you guys paying 85% for all tiers? So we could start shifting some of that to the employees, where you're not paying 85% of it, that we slowly start shifting more of that cost share to employees.
The only reason why I say that we shouldn't do that is because of what our pay is in the county.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody can be different, and everybody has their own opinion.
I think we would behoove to switch to MetLife and save money that way than, because, but I do see it.
Employees we have.
It's the optics, Mark.
Part-time and full-time.
It's the optics that if you got rid of it, they're going to see it as a takeaway, even though they don't.
Yeah, even if we made up that $80,000 somewhere else by eating the premium.
Yeah, my
but-
only thought was, can you get more value for your money? You know, if there is an issue about how much they pay and what they actually cover. and things like that. Can you get more value for your money by actually giving them the difference in the offset cost to the county? Somehow filter that to the employee.
Yeah, through an HSA. I agree with you, but I just
So-
don't, I get a little uneasy about, it does make sense, but it looks like you're taking a benefit away.
Yep.
Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I mean, there's 61 employees on the dental, but if you,
About 180.
180?
Total employees.
So if you
And
say,
there's
okay, we're going to
119.
give you so much money in HSA, if you don't take the dental, then you're going to have 180 people taking money instead of, but instead of the 61, so it probably would even make it more money.
Yeah. I mean, luckily it's a good price
Yeah.
for the employee. But if you had to pay that $96 out of pocket, or the $96 out of pocket every
Yeah.
24 pay period.
Wouldn't make any sense.
You'd be not worth getting.
No.
So do we need to make a decision today on the deductible?
No. So the things we don't need to decide on today is the plan design and employee contributions.
Okay.
So that you guys can take away and decide how you want to look at those projections and how you want to fund the plan. Historically, you guys have funded to midpoint, so just keep that in mind, but look at that balance to see where you guys have been able to build up a surplus on those years that we ran well, is now a year where we want to dip a little bit into that surplus and not pass on a 9.8% increase. Or, like I said, I think at the very least, we need to bump up that to a $25,000 or $2,500, $5,000.
How do you feel about that, Roger, with
I
being on
just-
the plan?
I feel like if we go up to the 2,500 and 5,000, we need to keep the premium price the same.
Yep.
I mean, if we do, in my opinion.
Okay.
And so when you look
But
at that
I think it'd probably
page,
behoove us to get into the movement. Last time she was here suggested doing that.
yep,
I'm not on the plan, so I don't want to,
What did we do last year?
nothing.
no.
We kept everything the same, because we didn't have increases.
We didn't have any increase.
No increase.
I thought we took some of it towards the county. So
The commissioners
employees-
paid for the increase. Well, there was a small increase, but we didn't.
Small, but it was like minimal.
It was so
Okay, that's
small
what I
where.
thought.
We didn't pass it on to the
And
employees.
instead, and then we implemented First Stop Health as an
Yeah.
added benefit.
I would rather see us raise the deductible than raise the premiums.
So you could keep the premiums flat. So then when you're looking at page 7 projection, that's the one that's the $2,500.
Hold on, let me get
The other report, Mark.
Page 7?
Yep. Are you in the,
The horizontal one.
the Elevate
Land-
365 report? Because I'm going back to the projection that I delivered last time I was here. So the page 7 one is the one on the $2,500, assuming that we increase it from 25, or from 2,000 to 2,500. And look under the projected column, so expected and midpoint. If you funded to expected, so just to give you a frame of mind, funding to expected, 50% of the time actuarially, you're going to hit at or below expected claims. And midpoint, 80% of the time, you're going to hit at or below. So that's why a majority of my clients fund a midpoint, because it's a pretty safe place where you're going to fund the plan enough and usually end up with a surplus, which you guys historically have been able to because you funded a midpoint and ended each year with some sort of a surplus. So somewhere in between there, the expected gives you an actual decrease, and the midpoint is an increase of 7.9%. So if you wanted, I could go back to our actuary and look at scenarios where we might fund somewhere in the middle, where you guys would absorb any increase to members, so don't pass on any increase to them, but then how do we want to fund the plan if we wanted to do somewhere between expected and midpoint, what that increase would look like for you guys?
How much is it going to be a 7.9% increase on the premium every 2 weeks?
So, how much do you guys pay per, the employees pay of the premiums per month?
I mean, I can
For-
get it for you, I just don't have it right now.
So I can tell you,
So this would
The
move
premium
the deductible
equivalent-
from $2,000 an individual to $2,500. What would it be for a family?
5.
Why would that not go up to 550 to 55?
I don't know if I've got,
It just, I mean, it's 2 and 4 right now, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
25 and
So if you go
25
to
is
20,
5.
if you go to 25 and 5, I don't know why that wouldn't change for a family.
It did.
It did, it went up $1,000 for a family.
Oh, it was 4.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
yes, it was 2 and
Gotcha.
4.
2, okay, gotcha, sorry.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, sorry about that. What'd you call me?
Roger. He was talking, so I called you Roger.
No, I thought you called me something else.
Oh, no.
I thought it ended with an N.
I thought so too.
No, I said Rod, and then I was like, Mark.
I heard.
N on the stop of the G.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So the overall premiums would increase by 7.9%, but we're talking, you guys don't want to pass on any increase to the employees, so their contribution amount would remain flat, and you guys would absorb any of that increase.
That's what I'm wanting that figure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So overall funding, both employer and employee money, would be that 2.524122 on page 7 under midpoint. That's the all-in employer and employee contribution. So I can take that back and ask them to do up the premium equivalents for a $2,500 plan, and then set the contributions so that employees are paying same now as they were next year, hold them flat. And see how much of that increases your employer.
Or I thought I had that presentation, but I don't.
Because I mean, if we do, I mean, you know, there's 118 people on medical. That's the way it looks to me. Is that a correct number?
Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
When we did the projection, there was 114.
And it may not be a bad idea, in my mind, to look at, if we're raising a whole lot of anything, maybe we could up our part of the HSA match, even $100, you know, an extra $100 match from the county.
Yeah.
For them. That way, I mean, that's $12,000 for the county to put in, and that would help them offset that extra deductible. You know, something
And
like
not
that.
everybody is even doing, do you know, Amy, how many people do you have that do the full match, the $500?
I don't know, I would have to look.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Well, that's
Not
free.
everyone.
I mean, I would encourage anyone.
I know, it's
And
funny.
everybody, here's my other rant, that if you're not putting in the max amount of money in your HSA account, you are costing yourselves money.
Yep.
I understand that $8,000 can be a lot of money, or $4,000 can be a lot of money out of your paycheck, but if you make $30,000, you put $5,000 out, and you're telling the federal government you only make $25,000, your earned
Yep.
income credit's gonna be higher. Like,
Yep.
there is such a tax
I
advantage
know it.
by putting as much money in a health savings account as you possibly can.
I agree.
Like,
And bear in mind, if you don't
And I
have
could be wrong, it might be different.
so like, I mean, if you're a single parent and you make $30,000 at the county and you put $4,000 or it's $4,000 the government does not know that you make.
Yep,
And that is I guarantee you get that back as an earned
And when
income.
you start on Medicare,
yep,
you're allowed to use that money to pay for your Medicare supplement. instead
Yep.
of-
Actually,
So it's-
yeah, and it becomes an IRA, because that 20%
John,
penalty for using it
there's even,
so you can use it for whatever.
That's what it could go up, but the county's going to absorb part of that.
sorry.
And that percentage may be different.
It-
I don't,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. I can't find that presentation. I thought it was.
Presentation, you're looking
So
for.
you know what's funny? There's even another tax advantage. You can pay for your health care out of pocket, not use your HSA, and then and put it, and that's something I needed to bring up. And then you put it in an investment account, and then you pay it out of pocket, and then when you turn 65, you just like, well, you can move the money around because you already paid for your health care. But anyways, I think at some point, I know I brought this up in the past, and now I understand, it sounds to me like people are not utilizing the health savings account to the fullest ability, but if there are enough employees that are, at some point, we need to find a way that it needs to go to a account where they can be invested.
So does Friendship Bank not allow investments?
But,
But First Financial does.
First Financial
and we
does.
have both of them.
Oh, okay.
Napoleon doesn't. I actually moved some of my HSA money over to.
is that a problem with having both banks doing
It
it?
doesn't bother us.
Okay.
Okay.
I think they
So-
only started allowing the investment portion of it, what, a year or two ago?
Oh, no, they've been, I've done it for 5 or 6
Yeah,
years.
I think that investment portions, it's been,
That's
yeah.
not that new.
No, it just depends on the bank that
And
you're
you, and just
utilizing.
for everybody listening, you have till tax deadline time to
Yep,
fix
if
it
you
out.
want to start, you've got till
Right.
April 15th to dump in more money into your HSA
max it
for
out.
2025.
All right, so decisions.
Okay, so the stop loss
See,
is,
I thought these numbers were wrong, Patty. So
What do you-
the employee only,
How's that upside down?
because it's a presentation that we just scan in.
Okay.
So on your presentation for, is that 24 per pay period, county per pay cost?
oh, you're talking about the open enrollment?
Yeah, so like, 470 is what you guys have on your presentation, and 8495 for the employee only, let's just say that. Which equals 554.95 times 2, because you got it per pay period. I show the employee is 1109.90, not 766.37.
Where are you talking about the 766?
On
Are
the
you a-
current,
Are you on dental?
no, on the current, like on your current renewal report.
So those aren't rates. What you're looking at on there are not the premium equivalents. Those
Okay.
are the claims factors.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I
Yes.
was like,
No, those are not
I know
the,
what we're paying every month.
and that's why I wanted you to have.
Make sure.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to have this with the numbers and this with the numbers, because those, what you're seeing there is your claims, we call them claims factors.
Okay.
So an underwriter looks at what they expect your claims to be for the year, and then they add a corridor. For you guys, it's 125% corridor, so somewhere between what they expect and the maximum is that 125% corridor. And then they break that down into claims factors. This is the maximum worst-case scenario. They create these factors, That's what we add to your fixed cost to get your total fixed and maximum out-of-pocket exposure.
Okay.
Okay, so back to
They're worried
today.
about the premiums, so I'm gonna make sure I give them a copy
Yes.
of the premiums.
Yes.
So,
Those are the premium equivalents, and I will have those reworked for the $2,500, and then assume a flat increase for employees because they're raising the deductible, and see what that does to the funding for you guys. And then just keep in mind whatever that balance is and that surplus that we've built up, keep that in mind when we decide what the employer funding is going to be, if we're going to be safe enough to dip into that. So for today, really the thing that we can decide today is the stop loss. Vote to renew with the same terms with IOA Re. And then up to you if we want to go ahead and vote to move away from Delta Dental for the dental and vision and move to MetLife.
But isn't there some information you want to find out first on that?
The only thing that I wanted to look at is the network, the difference between the network for the dental and the vision, but it's not going to change the fact that Delta Dental gave us that increase, and that's an increase in the premiums. Would we even want to absorb that versus we've made sure that the MetLife has a strong out-of-network benefit, so even if Delta might happen to have a better network than MetLife, we've made sure that you've got a strong out-of-network benefit with MetLife, so if people go out-of-network, it shouldn't have, I just, for
Okay.
my peace of mind, want to know what their
So
network
we have
looks like.
there's three things we're going to decide here now, then we're going to vote
The
on.
the stop loss, the dental, and then the vision.
Okay, so we need to vote on all those separately or together?
That's a,
So,
do you,
Explain to me the stop loss.
So the stop loss is an insurance within the insurance.
it's
That says-
protection.
So that says, we're with us being self-insured, we pay, if I go to the hospital, up to $75,000. Ripley County pays out of pocket. Soon as it hits that number, the stop loss kicks in, and then they reimburse the county back.
So it's protection because you're partially
An
self-funded.
insurance policy within the insurance policy.
Yes.
So if every employee got majorly sick, we would go bankrupt because that would be, you have 100 employees, it'd be 700,
Yep.
$750,000 is what it would cost.
So if you think of it in terms of you being partially self-funded, where you're self-funding that first $75,000 of claims, so that's your specific deductible, and then you have that stop-loss carrier as the added protection. So, okay, well, majority of your people aren't going to hit $75,000 each year, but so you self-fund everybody up to that $75,000, every belly button on the plan. And then you have that protection for those catastrophic claims above that, then you're paying a premium for that stop-loss carrier to protect you for any claims above $75,000.
Okay.
So then they said we could raise that stop loss.
From 75 to 85, and I recommend not.
$27,000 a year. So
But
that-
we're estimating 3 people to hit that number.
Right,
so if we-
$30,000.
We'd actually be losing money.
Yep,
$30,000.
Yeah.
yep, because you've got different buckets when you're self-funded. You've got your claims bucket and your fixed cost, which is your premiums and what you're paying for the administration of the plan. And what they're doing is reducing your fixed cost bucket by $27,000, but you're taking on an additional liability and claims of $10,000 per member. So if you have 3 people hit, then you're $30,000, and if you ended up having even more people, that just puts you further and further in that hole.
so we're voting on the stop loss.
To renew.
Just
with
right
the-
now, that's going to be our first vote.
Yep, renew with IOA
So,
Re at the same
if
contract.
you're all understand,
75,000,
Do we,
right?
yes, this current stop loss, we're going to,
Current
the
terms.
vote is to stay with the current stop loss provider.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 The current provider and the current amount.
Stop loss.
Right?
Yep,
Current terms, yep.
Sorry, I just want to make
It's
sure I
okay.
get this right in the minutes.
it's okay. And then the second one would be, and we can probably do these two together.
I think so, because you're going to want to
The dental and vision, do we,
move from Delta to
move the
MetLife.
Delta to MetLife?
I'll make a motion to move to MetLife.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. I will get you the revised premium equivalents then, assuming we move to the $2,500, and what that would look like for budgeting purposes on keeping the employee contributions flat. I will see if I can get information on what your current spend is on mental health, to consider whether or not we'd want to add that whole mental health as an option to your employees, and then also see if I can find out kind of what your spend was looking at for cold and flu season and what those respiratory claims might have looked like. I might be able to get that information from our Kinetic Health team.
Okay.
Anything else? How did we do? Not too bad. All right, guys.
Any other questions?
No. Will you be around for just a little bit?
I can be.
I'd like to talk to you about the situation if you've got time.
Yep, I can.
Yeah, me too.
Or we can just shut the computer down. I can talk, it don't matter if you got.
Do we have any other topics of discussion? Do we have a motion?
I didn't. The last meeting brought up the person wanting a stop sign at Michigan Road and 500 North.
Probably they have some sort of
Study or something, or oversight, see if there is an issue.
USI might be able to kind of take a purview of that. That's kind of, I think, what they did when they put one out there at Finks Road and 650.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about, yeah. I don't know.
So you shoot-
525, no, 5,
When it was a detour or
550,
something.
yeah. Mhm. I know where you're at.
I think it's other at that point after review and.
Who do I need to get a hold of to get that done?
Probably Jason and you.
Jason,
And
okay.
Jason then to get USI to take a look at it. I mean, it seems ridiculous to have to go through some large scale engineering study for the determination for the stop when necessary. But I think they have something of that nature, and then once we do the ordinance put one there, then you publicize it, then basically they make tense.
Yeah, agreed.
So would they put things out to see the speed average or something? Because it's supposed to be 45 mile an hour, but it's much.
Well, I mean, I think it could also be, it could be based upon the whole theory, like, it's not with the speed. The speed, you can't control that. The question is there a clear enough sight of view that allows people to see it clearly, or should it be in full stop, just for safety purposes?
Gotcha.
So maybe you make that phone call to Jason, see
Yeah, I
if he
will.
can do that. I almost forgot. Here are the local surrounding counties' fees and such for having animals and, you know, rules and charges that other counties around us charge. I've been speaking with the folks with CARES, and I asked them to provide this information, but I told them, I said, if the county is to move in the direction of doing something, there needs to be a fee structure set up. And I know this probably goes down to council, so I'm going to leave this here since there's a council meeting tonight and give this, if Peg was still here, I'd give it to them. But this is something that group that's working with CARES, I mean, Dearborn County has a $90 or a $50 dog tag fee that has to be paid.
Annually?
Yes.
Is that for you to promote?
I mean, if you want, my argument is, if you want this type of control in the county, you pay for this type of control in the county. I don't own a dog, so don't punish me. So, I shouldn't have to use taxpayers' money to do that. It should be the P. You'll probably never make all your money back, but we're already spending $50,000 a year on under animal control between the current budget.
Right, yeah.
But here's a fee structure that council or whomever that wants to move in that direction, I mean, it could potentially pay for itself. I mean, I think if dog catcher catches your dog 3 times, I think they should charge you $5,000.
So should
Sorry.
it go to council or should it go to the committee?
I'll give it to John,
Give it to Amy.
give it to Amy, the CARES put the work into it.
All you gotta do
I
is
just
say-
did a quick Google search and found Dearborn counties, and the other thing is too, that I asked her, that's probably in here, is what kind of fees and structures do people have in for having kennels or puppy mills.
I will scan it and I'll email it to everyone.
Yeah, so,
That's the
because,
best way to get it.
we do need to, there's one county in there that if you have more than 50 dogs, you pay $500.
50 dogs?
There's someone in Ripley County that has more than that.
Well, they got a committee already, what's your committee called?
There's no crime against it, there could be rules, but there's no crime against it.
Okay.
So anyways, that's all I got.
Unless the dogs are not cared for, it's not a crime.
That committee was
However, you have
formed, I
more
figured they
dogs
would
that you're
figure it out.
boarding Or using for
That's what
Yeah, I mean,
business
they'll be at the meeting
purposes.
tonight. I'm
Yeah.
sure
Then you're
that
supposed to be
information will be there,
zoned,
but I'll
get a
take
special
that.
exception.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
You got a show.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to
Second.
adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.